And the longer this goes, the more I feel like it. Really feeling like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but this just feels like it's about two dudes fighting with each other. This does. I mean, I feel like we've completely lost the mark on anybody even pretending this is about what's better for the country, better for the state. Anybody fighting for what they believed in, trying to live up to promises made to the vote. None of it. It really is just two guys that are fighting with each other. And that's what it is. It's a personal power thing between Gavin Newsom and Donald Trump. And you want to believe, and it was the same thing with Elon and Donald Trump. But you want to believe that, well, no, that couldn't be true. These people are so powerful. They're in charge of so much. Why would they be so petty? But, I mean, the more stories you read and the more people you interact with and the more documentaries that get made out of businesses and CEOs that collapsed and all this stuff, it all comes down to ego and hurt feelings. Like it's like the more power people get, the more sensitive they get, and the more petty they get. You know, like they just decide something. People get a lot of power and they just decide something and they go, this is what we're doing. And then the minute somebody says, I don't think that's a good idea, they go, what are you, against me? And then just like use all their power against that person. And then they mask it in a way where it's like, but this has nothing to do with me. I'm doing the job for, this is for the people. This isn't an ego trip. Meanwhile, I'm going, okay, whether LA is actually burning down or not, I'm highly skeptical of the actual burning down. There is a protest going on. It's happening, you know. There are Waymos getting lit on fire. There is a thing that needs to be settled. But I'm seeing the governor is like tweeting out AI General Palpatine. You know, did you see that? The emperor. I'm not general. Emperor. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect.
Sam doesn't know.
Yeah, I didn't mean to disrespect the rank of Palpatine. But yes. While all this is going on, instead of debating policy, we have, Trump over here arguing about phone calls. No, I got the receipts. And then this one over here going, who Trump is like? Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. You like Star Wars? And you're going, what are we talking about? I mean, it was a whole thing yesterday. They were like Newsom was like, well, I talked to Trump and Trump's never called about this. And Trump's like, I called. See, it says here that I called. Except it says that he called the same day that Newsom said that he called. Like Newsom was like, he hasn't called since Monday. And Trump was like, no, see, I called here. And first of all, like the story here is that Trump's calling this guy at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's to me the whole...
That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. I'm like, Trump's up at 1:30, and I know it's not at 1:30 in the morning Newsom time. It's 1:30 in the morning Trump time, but regardless, man, I'm in bed. I'm not calling anybody at 1:30. If somebody's calling me at 1:30 in the morning, somebody wants to get on the phone at 1:30 in the morning, it better be some wild shit.
Better be Stone Cold.
If Stone Cold's calling at 1:30 in the morning, I'm up. No, I wasn't sleeping. Hey, Sam, you up? Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am. Why else? Well, hey, of course, it's 1:30 in the morning.
What else would I be doing?
Yeah. I mean, what am I? I mean, you're up, right? Well, of course I was up. But that's the thing that you expect, not like, oh, even at 10:30. What happened? What happened to growing up? And remember your mom was like, she'd look crooked if you had a friend that called after sundown?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That phone rang?
Oh, the phone.
Everybody's watching TV.
Forget about that. The phone rings after sundown. Tony Soprano's mom. I don't answer the phone after sundown. You're not supposed to call at night. Business hours are over.
Or like if you knew a friend was going to call at night, you would be waiting and you would hope that you could get it on like half a ring.
Yeah, half ring. Did anybody wake up? Did anybody hear that? Who was that calling? No, I don't know. Somebody's on the other end of the phone. Your mom picks up the other phone in the other room. Who is this?
Mom!
Mom, get off the phone. I got it.
Anyway, did you see the match?
Yeah. My post-Raw. That was the original Raw recap. Chuck calling me at 10 p.m. But yeah, I mean, that to me is what struck me, that like Trump holds up his phone and he's like, see, I called him. And it's like nobody's going, what are you doing making calls at 1:30 in the morning? You should be in bed.
They're late.
And like, I know you're like, wow, I'm isn't it great that the president is like, doesn't keep hours, he's up all night? It's like, nah, man. I want the president to get his 8. You know what I mean? I want the president 8 hours a night.
I mean, there's got to be a happy medium because didn't they say like Biden, he can't do anything after 4 o'clock?
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about wanting somebody who what do they call that when you turn like M. Night did a movie about it when you turn into like a Alzheimer's monster when the sun goes down.
Yeah, like there's got to be a happy medium between like this guy can't function after 4 and this guy's up at 1 a.m. calling governors.
I mean, call me old school. You know what I want? I want a president that watches the monologue of the Tonight Show and then goes to bed. That's the way it's supposed to be done. That's the way, you grow up. If you grow up in a wholesome household, right around the monologue of the Tonight Show is when the grown-ups go to bed.
11:45.
Exactly right. And as a kid, you're like, well, and as a kid, you go, that's very late, 11:45. I couldn't imagine staying up that late. I go to bed, even if I'm a little older, 10 o'clock was a big leap for me. But maybe you start packing it in as the local news is on. Start winding down.
What if the president is a fan of Conan and wants to stay up
Conan
till
is for
12:30?
Conan is for the college kids. Conan is not for the adults. Conan is not for the people that are responsible for things. Conan is for the people who are in dorm rooms that for the first time in their life don't have anybody checking on their bedtime.
Because that was the best.
Oh, of course. There's a whole world of television that's on at 12:30 just for me. Look at that bear. He's jerking off.
He did it again.
I can't believe it. I got to watch. I never know when the masturbating bear is going to come back. And it was perfect. But that's not for, I couldn't go, hey, mom and dad, you got to stay up till 12:30. Conan's got this bear. He's masturbating. The bear masturbates. They'd be like.
And if you're looking for something to watch before that, don't worry. E's got Howard Stern.
Right. Yeah, E's got Howard Stern every now and then.
I think Insane Clown Posse's on.
Yeah, Insane Clown Posse's arguing with Sharon Osbourne.
Oh, that was must-see TV.
Must see. But you were either in a dorm room or you had gone to bed, waited till your parents fell asleep, and then you sneak downstairs.
But that's what Trump's doing now.
To watch the show. You think he's waiting till mom and dad? You think he waits till JD falls asleep?
You think they sleep in the same room?
He looks in. He's like, okay, good.
No, not in the same room, but he probably makes.
JD sleeps in the White House?
I think so. I think so too. I do think so too. Yeah, he waits till JD and Marco Rubio fall asleep, and then
They have bunk beds?
I think they do because Trump demanded that they have bunk beds because he wanted them to have more room for activities.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
That's smart.
yeah.
You need room.
Actually, JD came in and asked the president, "Can we have bunk beds?" And you know what the president said?
So you guys are grown men.
You're
do
adults.
whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. And JD and Marco were like, "Yes."
But they were like, so is that a yes?
Is that a yes? That's exactly what happened.
JD gets top bunk, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Over
for sure.
Rubio?
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, I remember when
Rubio's probably at a race car bed.
Rubio
He's tiny.
Rubio was I was reading this on CNN. He was furious that JD was playing his drum set.
Oh, no.
Furious.
Didn't he know that that's not supposed to be played?
And then he put his butt on it. JD put his butt on Rubio's drum set.
That
I
was
don't know
on CNN?
if I saw it on CNN. Wolf was talking about it.
That makes sense.
Wolf gets to the bottom of everything.
He gets to the bottom of it. He gives me all, for a lot of people, they go to other spots, they go to podcasts and stuff. For me, CNN is it. But yeah. So I think maybe that is it. Maybe the Donald sneaks downstairs because I was startled by two things. I was startled by the fact he's making calls at 1:30 in the morning, and I was startled that it's just on his iPhone.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, isn't it supposed to be like every call is like
You're
monitored?
supposed to have like a special phone.
There's supposed to be like every call is supposed to be. There's supposed to be a transcript.
Oh,
of
I
it.
don't think we do that anymore.
We stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Just because it was too much.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're supposed to like put the phone call transcripts in the Library of Congress or something like that.
Not with Trump. That's all out the window.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, all kidding aside, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I remember Obama was like, I would like to use my BlackBerry, and everybody was like, we have the craziest president. Remember that?
Yeah.
Obama was like, I just like using my BlackBerry, and the people were like, this is a wacky guy as
Nuts.
president. This is a crazy person. We've never had anything like this before. Yeah, so I guess he's just like, see? But then he goes, the clips said that Newsom said, well, he never even called me about the
Right,
National
because Trump
Guard.
said, I called him yesterday.
I called him yesterday.
They said, when's the last time you spoke to Gavin? He said, yesterday.
Gavin said, I haven't talked to him since Monday, and we didn't even talk about the National Guard. And then Trump said, see, I talked to him right here. And technically it was Tuesday. But that's because it was Tuesday at 1:30 in the morning, which is 10:30 at night on Monday, which means that Gavin was like, yeah, no, that's what I said. I said I talked to him, and we had a conversation on Monday. That would be when that day is. That phone says Monday, but we didn't talk about the National Guard. And I'm sitting here going, like, what do we... Who cares? This is when it's becoming clear. This is just two grown-ass men bickering.
Yeah.
This is two men having a power struggle with each other and like creating this thing where it's like, no, it's about, the whole, there's going to be a civil war and the Constitution is being thrown out the window and this and that. It's like you guys are fighting with each other and you're dragging all of us into it. That's what I think is happening. I think Trump is sending out the National Guard to fuck with him. I think Gavin is doing less to fuck with Trump. They're just fucking with each other.
Yep.
And the unfortunate thing is there are actual human beings whose lives are being affected by it.
That doesn't matter then.
No. They don't even consider that. Those are just that's just all a part of the game.
Collateral damage.
Right. Because we need to figure out who's the powerful person,
It's a dick measuring contest.
It is. And so far, I think they might both be small.
Micro penis?
I think they might both. Who's got the bigger micro penis, Trump or Gavin Newsom? Yeah, I don't even know if Gavin's been able to put out his pod. He's been so busy memeing Trump. Brian in Pennsylvania. What's up, Brian?
Hey, how you doing this morning? I just want to say that I think you guys are kind of on the wrong track, and I know you're probably going to say, more conspiracy crap here. But the simple fact of the matter is this. Trump knows everything that's going on well in advance, and that's because he's in on this entire grand conspiracy. And I got to tell you, I do give you let me just say, I give you credit for having a discourse with me because I called into the David Webb show on Monday.
Right.
And in less than a minute, he had hit the call dump button on me because it was very quick into the call that I had David trapped in my web.
And he was like, I look like a fool. I can't have this on my airwaves. I have to dump this call.
Absolutely. He doesn't want to talk about the truth.
Wow. Now, you're coming across very Whoopi Goldberg, I have to tell you. Very conspiracy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Whoopi is big into the conspiracies now. She's huge. She loves conspiracies.
Well, you're coming off as somebody who basically believes everything the media says, and I've already proven. I've proven before. I mean, here's all you guys.
Go ahead.
Okay, so people have told us.
Wait, Brian. I mean, so far I've come on the air, and my political take has been, I think that these guys might be measuring their micro penises, and you're saying that is the mainstream media take.
Well. Okay, well, I know you're trying to be persnickety and whatnot, but I'm looking at the grand...
You got me on that. All right. You got me in your web.
Sam persnickety, Robert.
All right. Don't dump him yet. Be ready to dump.
Okay.
Hover over the dump.
Go ahead, Brian. We're all yours.
Okay, so basically it's, so anybody who's done any research, or if you ever listen to Mark Dice, he's spoken about it many times, how the mainstream media is under the control... The mainstream media is under control of the intelligence community in a program known as Operation Mockingbird, which was proven in the 1950s, the mid-1970s during the Church Commission hearings, which were a byproduct of the Watergate break-in. So basically, it's we know the media is being paid to lie to us.
Hang on, Brian.
But that doesn't mean they're lying to us.
I know. I believe that Operation Mockingbird was the idea that the system that we could put, not we, but the people making the system could put in place to kind of cast out a story that would either distract or get everybody on the same page of a narrative that was not really what was going on. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even this sounds almost Dr. Evilish. Frank Wisner, whose title in the CIA was Deputy Director of Plans, he called the media the mighty Wurlitzer because he could make it play any tune he wanted.
Okay, now this is in the 70s?
Mid-70s, yeah. It actually started in the late 50s. It was exposed in the mid-70s, and it's going on today.
Okay, so it feels like you got the information in the mid-70s, and I don't know if it's fair to say, well, I found out this was going on in 1976, therefore, it's happening right now. I mean, that logic tree doesn't follow.
Okay. Well, okay. So,
Okay.
Are you saying that? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Because you're saying that You're saying that the intelligence community would give up their grasp. Okay.
I'm saying that if you figured it out 50 years ago, that there's a chance that they might switch up the plan.
You're getting it all wrong, okay?
Oh.
I'm 53 years old. I did not figure this out when I was 3.
All right, well, by the way, if I would have been impressed if you had. So maybe you take that W, you know?
Absolutely, but you know what? They have something nowadays, perhaps you've heard of it, called the Internet, and it can be used for something other than video games and free porn. You can actually do research.
Okay, well, guess what? I haven't found that part of the Internet yet. And also, by the way,
what? That's a byproduct of porn becoming free.
And this phone call is the first time I found out you could play video games on it too. I thought it was just a pornography vehicle, but that's great news.
Okay, so let me get back.
Okay,
to
so tell me,
yeah,
what's going on?
Okay, so let me give you the information that Mr. David Webb hung up on me for before I got a chance to get it out. Okay, so. You've heard of the big beautiful bill. It's so beautiful. The bill is just so beautiful. It's Marilyn Monroe. Oh. Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
You think he talks to himself a lot?
Oh yeah.
I think he watches a lot of InfoWars.
Oh yeah,
you like InfoWars, don't you, Brian?
He's been waiting for this.
No, you want to know what? No, you know what? I do not like InfoWars. You want to know why?
Yes.
Because Alex Jones capitulated and openly admitted Sandy Hook did in fact happen when no, it didn't. That's why they didn't send any medevac droppers to a massacre.
By the way, I love that you used the word capitulated and then right after that said admitting. Maybe don't worry. Maybe focus on the small words first and then get to those SAT words.
I said admitted to.
Brian, I got to listen.
Can I give Brian some advice real quick? Do you mind?
I don't mind.
Okay. Go ahead,
Brian.
Let me give that advice.
You know what you need to do here? Let me give you a little advice, buddy. You need to get offline.
Yeah.
You need to go take a nice walk outside.
Oh.
Get some fresh air.
Ooh.
Eat a good, clean meal.
Yeah. Maybe a green drink.
Get a green drink.
Okay.
You know what? Because when you disconnect yourself from the internet, none of this exists.
Right.
Okay. No, I'm afraid the real world is there, whether the internet is there or not. But let me say this.
Of course, but do you have to obsess over it?
And also, Brian, your interpretation of the real world might not actually be the reality of the world.
And how is Brian in Pennsylvania going to stop it? What's happening?
Oh, I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to expose how stupid you people are for believing into this crap. For example, you want to talk about, Donald Trump was shot in the ear, and he was a big hero. He said, fight, fight, fight. Well, Donald Trump was not shot in the ear, and I'm going to give you the medical facts. The ear is basically all cartilage. Cartilage never goes back. That's why great athletes have their knees blown out and have to retire in their 20s. And Donald Trump didn't say, well, you know what, I'm going on the campaign trail. I had emergency surgery on my ear because I didn't want it to be a distraction. No, he did not have emergency. Yeah.
So you're saying that was he was not actually shot.
By the way, no. Don't even worry about it. I don't care about it. My favorite part of that just now. The only thing to focus on.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter what he's saying. I mean, I don't understand why you're trying to have a conversation, Troy. Stop that.
Troy, don't you know everything that's ever happened didn't happen?
No. What's great there? Wait, Brian. You know what's the best? Brian, I want to tell you what you just did. Okay, and this is the most telling thing that I've ever seen happen to anybody. You just kept talking, and we listened, and then halfway through your story, you went, hello? Because you are so used to everybody that you've ever spoken to just telling you to shut the fuck up.
No, I'm used to morons like you not wanting me to tell the truth, okay?
All right, listen. Brian, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Brian, wait, Brian. We just got word from Jim McClure. He said there's too much truth. We have to get you off. So it was nice.
I thought that would happen.
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
No, I knew it would be.
They said, thank you, Brian. I have to hang up. They said, we need to get back to the mainstream. They said, we can't have this. It's too much.
Keep talking about
there's too much truth happening.
It's too much truth. There's too much exposure.
Brian really needs to just plant a garden. That's what he needs to do.
I mean, he just needs to, he needs to step away.
Yeah, like, dude, you're in too deep.
Yeah.
You're making yourself crazy.
Watch some cat videos.
Get a cat.
Get a cat.
Make videos of your cat. You want to go on the internet? Put your cat videos on the internet.
Oh. By the way, you know what's great about Troy's advice? You know he did all of it himself.
That's how he got
himself back right.
Well, because you can go. I could easily be Brian in Pennsylvania. Do you understand? Like
you used to be Troy in Pennsylvania.
You understand how that happens.
That's right.
You make a couple wrong turns,
and all of a sudden,
like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're down the InfoWars rabbit hole.
And am I walking in circles in this forest?
And it just what the point is, it gets you nowhere.
Right.
Brian's not going to solve. Everybody's not going to be like, "Oh my God, Brian in Pennsylvania was right."
Also,
we are all wrong.
Also, a lot of the stuff that was fed to him as like, "Here's the real truth," are lies. He was lied to. These are not true things.
That's the truth.
Okay. Scott in Virginia. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Troy's doing a great job on the phone, by the way.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Let's bring the funny back to the show. How about some of these tweets that Antonio Brown is tweeting out about Gavin Newsom's wife?
Well, I did.
He turned her insides out.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit yesterday. I don't know if has that continued on. We were talking about that.
I don't know if it's continued on. I don't follow.
Right.
Antonio Brown?
We were talking about that, for a while yesterday. That Antonio Brown's take on this whole thing is that he had sex with Gavin Newsom's wife. So that was more his angle on this whole story. And I'm surprised that more of the big news shows haven't brought him in to sit on panel and go, "What do you think, AB?" Well,
you know what? You might be right, Sam, with the micro penis.
Could be a micro penis situation.
No, didn't he show it to those girls in the hot tub?
Thank you. No. We're talking about Gavin.
Oh,
I don't think AB has the micro penis.
No, I'm pretty sure he showed it to those girls in the hot tub, and it was quite large.
I think so too. I think it popped up over the water like Nessie. You know what I mean? You saw that little shadow of the head like Nessie. Scott in Worcester. What's up, Scott?
No, he hasn't continued.
Yeah, I just want to talk about how much of a turd that guy Brian was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
If he needs a conspiracy theory to look into, I got a good one for him. My friend was leaving a baseball game and he got spit on. And he couldn't see where it came from.
Really?
So he blames one of the baseball players, but it couldn't have been him. I feel like this guy is ripe to go down a rabbit hole and look into this.
So what did the loogie go back into the left?
That's right. How did you know?
Wow, maybe I've heard the same conspiracy. I don't know. Thank you, Scott. That's a good...
Did you also hear... Oh, there's one other one with why the Knicks really lost.
Why did they really lose?
Reggie Miller took Spike Lee out to a strip club.
No.
And Spike Lee wasn't there to...
Wow.
They kind of got in a fight, and then they just went out to a strip club.
Wow.
Trying to jam as many as I can in.
No, good for you, Scott. Good for you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Time.
Thank you, buddy. I got another one. Yeah, meanwhile, as all this is going on, Elon and Gavin are having their spat.
Trump and Gavin.
Yeah, Trump and Gavin. Elon and Trump. That's why it was in my head. Elon and Trump. Elon has seen the error of his ways. He tweeted out he went a little too far.
The highs are high and the lows are low.
Yeah. Elon tweeted out that he went a little too far. He misses his best friend, he said. Well, I didn't say that, but he implied it. I think that's what's going on, too. I look at all this stuff. I don't think that there's, everybody, we were talking to this conspiracy guy just a minute ago. Everybody thinks that there's some grand sort of conspiracy and plan. And honestly, I think a lot of people believe in conspiracy theories because, in a way, it's a more comfortable reality that there is, even if it's something that is not good, even if it's something that we're not aware of, the idea that there is a grand plan by somebody creates some sort of solid ground to land on.
Yeah, and I think there's also been times where we've been lied to about certain things.
Oh, 100%.
So I think you think that everything is a lie.
Sure, and that there's an organization behind all of it. When in reality,
it's just idiots.
Right. That the truth about the truth about err on the side of incompetence has, historically turned out to be the safe bet. Over and over and over again. This is just people with massive egos just making stupid decisions and then trying to cover up their dumb decisions and panicking. Oh, let's do this. Elon tweeted out, X'd out, Twixed out. I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far.
That's funny.
Why? How come? Which one specifically?
Yeah,
he didn't specifically say which one.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
but he
I
said
know
some of them. How do you know it was one in particular?
That's true. Well, I'm assuming
is it one in your head?
Big one.
Yeah.
There was one big one. Maybe some micro ones.
Right. The little ones surrounding it, but really, you think it was the big bomb?
I think so.
And then somebody posted this video of Trump wishing Elon well.
Right.
And then he replied.
Right.
Elon replied
with a heart.
With a heart.
Can we play the audio of this?
Of course we can.
Okay, yeah. This is Trump responding to somebody who asked him about Elon Musk, who, 5 days ago, they were at each other's throats. They were.
Said you're a pedophile.
He said he's on the Epstein list. They're going back and forth over,
Which, by the way, was still not denied.
Epstein list. They're trying to ignore it entirely. Epstein list this, ketamine that.
They started a whole bunch of riots in L.A. just to cover it up.
Yeah, Whoopi's got the cover up reversed.
It's like Charlie and Sonny in Philly.
Yeah. Here was Trump.
The Tesla and the Starlink service that you have here at the White House?
No, I haven't heard that. I mean, I may move the Tesla around a little bit, but I don't think we'll be doing that with Starlink. It's a good service.
Where are you going to move it to? Move it around. What do you mean?
I have a lot of locations.
Actually, about
I got so many locations that I don't know what to do with them all.
Now we're just bragging. I have so many places I can put this car.
A lot of different places. I have many seasonal residencies. He loved that question. That was his favorite question. What do you mean you're going to move it around? Oh, I forgot. I don't live like the rest of you. I have many locations, garages across this great land of ours.
In New York, Florida. I don't know.
Yeah, but you got to charge that motherfucker up depending on where you're going to.
That's true.
Tesla, did you ever see Elon Musk get physical with the Treasury Secretary?
No, I didn't.
And I tried to
They did have an argument, but I didn't see I didn't see a lot of physicality there.
And there was this New York Times report that he did not want to talk about, Elon Musk, that alleged that he, towards the end of his time in the White House, was blurring the lines between recreational use of drugs and medicinal.
Can you pause for a moment? I believe, here's
Medicinal.
medicinal. It's just a little medicinal. I need my medicine. I believe that this reporter is operating under the pretense that Trump and Elon are in a fight. So I can get Trump to talk his shit. Because I'll bet if he had asked this at the end of last week, we would have gotten a completely different answer.
Oh, yeah.
You mean like Friday?
Friday would have been a great day to ask this. But
I saw it all the time.
Exactly. But he asked this yesterday, and this is what we get instead.
Recreational use of drugs and medicinal. Do you think he ever had drugs here at the White House?
I really don't know. I don't think so. I hope not. Look, I wish him well. You understand. We had a good relationship, and I just wish him well. Very well, actually.
Okay, see.
You got to one-up it.
I wish him well is sort of like, okay, he's kind of out of sight, out of mind. I wish him very well. He's still my guy. So they've made up.
Troy, you still disagree with me?
What about what?
Yesterday,
I said it's unforgivable. And Travis is like, no, they'll make
Yeah,
up.
No, I was with you the whole time. They're not like
They'll
you're
be friends by Friday.
You're putting too much into, and you've done this before with like conspiracy. You put too much into these people. They're not anymore like. They're powerful people, but they're also, the two of them are so powerful that they kind of need each other in a way. They still have power that the other one doesn't have. On
Like Batman and the Joker.
That's right. Kill you.
Well, the reason why I said that is because
you're too much fun.
Like I said, people voted for Trump because they want that Epstein list out.
No, but you're also like. That's a little sect of people,
right?
Like that's like the what's his name in Pennsylvania?
Right.
Yeah, like most people.
I don't know if that many people ranked that as number one.
I hear you. But that's a big thing. People want that list out. They want to see who's on that list.
I think it was more like immigration and the economy.
I understand.
Yeah,
we understand the list of things that
and the cult
Trump
of
got elected for.
The cult of personality of Trump supersedes accusations. If there was tangible evidence that this is the thing that happened and he was lying and he's a fraud about all of it, then sure. But just the accusation hurled out in a who knows what induced fury of tweets, not unforgivable.
But that on top of the stupid binders that had the Epstein information.
But guess what?
That was all bullshit. All of a sudden, Kash Patel's coming out and being like, oh, no, he really did kill himself, which is a very strange thing to have happen.
Of course it's strange, but it hasn't affected him at all.
Trump?
Yeah.
No, I know. You're right.
You know what I mean? He put out the binders. He gave it all to libs of TikTok. He said, libs of TikTok, enjoy the binder for yourself. And she went through all of it. She was like, there's not one thing of interest in here.
This has all been released already.
Right. And guess what? Who does libs of TikTok like? Still.
Trump.
She literally is the one with the binder.
You're right.
You know what I mean? You're because you're coming from a place of like, if you're acting, one should lead to the other.
Right.
But it doesn't.
Right.
Because it's not a principled thing.
You're right.
It's cult of personality. I mean, that's how these things work.
But I just can't think that it's going to go back to the love affair it was between Trump and Elon.
No, but they'll be friendly, and Elon will be supportive
and work together
because
Trump will be supportive of him.
What's best for business? That's the only question to ask. What is best for business? And for both of their businesses, because Elon, like, you know, he was so on board with the Trump thing that there are people that won't go back. Like, the idea of him not being a political figure is tough because he was so ingrained in it. And like, I mean, triple, quadruple down. And Trump having that connection, like having like his friend that'll give him free Starlink and having, you know, he owns this truth thing or whatever he does with the truth thing, but also his best bud runs Twitter and is the richest man in the world. They don't want to give that up. And so they'll go like, you know what? We had to and if anything, it goes to prove that all of this stuff that we're seeing is just men being emotional. Yep. It goes right back to what as I'm watching. I mean, did you see that Emperor Palpatine thing that I talked about at the beginning of the show?
No.
Bro, he literally, his team, this Gavin Newsom, made an AI TikTok with Emperor from Star Wars about Trump. And I'm like, if this was a serious thing, and it is a serious thing in the sense that the people getting deported like they're real human beings with families, some of whom, you know, some of whom have been living here for years, like their lives are getting turned upside down. And it's all just part of this weird game that's being played between two people who love being in charge. Love being in charge. Anybody that loves being in charge is not to be trusted. And that's of anything. That's not just like a president. Anybody that's like, you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to have a bunch of people that I can tell them what to do. Where you work. If there's somebody that's like, you can tell, I would really like to be the boss so I can tell people what to do. That's a sociopath. And that's everybody that's ever wanted power. That's a sociopath thing to want to do. I want to be able to tell people what to do. It's a sociopathic desire.
Probably caused by micropenis.
And micropenis is, I think, a symptom that needs to be looked into. And I would love to do a sociological study. And this is something that I would have to take off the show for a year, unfortunately. But for the purpose of science, I would love to do a social thing where I'll do the research. And I'll go in and I'll put out a report on the correlation between micropenis and sociopathic desire for power. Because I see it in Trump and I see it in Newsom.
I see it in Bobo.
And listen, and Bobo always carried himself when he was doing O&A like he owned the room.
He did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And when he did segments, he wanted to make them about himself.
Yeah.
And he has micropenis.
You're speaking the truth.
I'm just saying, like.
Some of us in power aren't like that.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to be watching McClure. I'm going to be watching him. I'm going to be watching him to see, like, does he want to be in charge because he has good ideas and wants to, you know, or does he like telling people what to do? That's the two different things. Telling people what to, if you want to be in charge because you have great ideas and have a vision, that's not micropenis.
Right.
You could have a big hanging schlong if that's your, you know what I mean?
That's more like it.
But if somebody starts yelling at me about stuff, I'm going to go, I know what this is. Mm-hmm. And
we've seen people like that.
Oh yeah.
Worked for people like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had bosses that didn't like the way I did things. Guess what? Guess what my theory about them is?
They have micropenis.
That's my theory.
I think it's a good theory. I know who you're talking about.
And?
I think I know who you're talking about.
And what do you think?
And it's a good theory.
Okay.
Sometimes they want other people to use their penises.
So maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Let me see this TikTok. I want to see I want to get the audio on this TikTok.
Yes, sir.
That they put out. I mean,
a once great American city, Los Angeles has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. Now violent insurrectionist mobs are swarming and attacking our federal agents to try and stop our deportation operations. But the lawless right.
This is so what that is and there's Star Wars marching behind it. There's obviously a score, and that is a truth or a tweet or I don't know what goes out anymore.
It's a TikTok.
It's a no.
Oh,
but the text
that's a truth.
That's truth. Okay, is that a truth or a tweet? It's a TikTok. Okay, it's a TikTok of a truth.
Yes,
and it's Emperor Palpatine reading Trump's truth, with the correlation being, wow, Trump is the evil emperor from Star Wars.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, if one of you guys came to me and it's like, hey, remember we were talking about this on the air today? Should I AI? It would probably be Troy.
He probably would have already done it, but he doesn't want to say that he did it.
Because he loves AI so much, yeah. And he's like, oh, should I TikTok out this truth thing of a tweet of Trump? I had Emperor Palpatine doing his voice. And you know what I'd say to him as just host of this dumb radio show? I go, no, man, this is kind of a serious thing. You shouldn't do that. I don't know. It seems distasteful. I wouldn't do it. And you go, oh, okay. All right, I didn't see it from that angle, but you're right. These are people's lives. Like, this is like a thing that's happening. But the governor of California is like, no, that's a good idea. You should send that out. Like, we should do a Star Wars parody of this. That's what we should do.
People love Star Wars.
People love Star Wars. The president is sending in the National Guard. Let's do a Star Wars parody. And you're like, should we wait until it's over, or should we do it now while it's happening? Now, while it's happening.
Like he's trying to play Trump's game, right? Just petty and stupid and ridiculous.
Which has shown to work.
It has. So why wouldn't it work for Gavin?
You start calling people weird and everybody gets all out of sorts.
The weird thing worked. The weird thing did work.
It's funny how that worked.
It did. It did.
It's so fast and so well.
But yeah, to the point where they said, by the way, we're not weird. And Trump said, maybe JD is. But they're not saying it about me. That worked really well. But I'm just like, I mean, just the idea, there's no, we've gone, and Trump did it, but there's not a grown-up in the room anymore.
No.
There used to be an adult in the room.
Yeah. And I don't think one's coming back.
I don't think so either. We've decided we don't want it anymore.
We would rather ridiculousness.
Yeah, because it's funny.
It's funny. It's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
We can turn on the television and be entertained.
Because we've lost so much faith in everything that at least if we could be entertained.
Oh, yeah.
It's a real bummer.
And it's like, fucking burn it to the ground.
You think so? Not everybody feels that way.
Okay.
I don't think Toots would want that.
I mean, I don't know if Toots knows what's going on.
You don't think he does?
Think so.
You don't think he does?
I don't know.
Wow.
No, he's got a belly full of eggs and he's shitting on the floor. He doesn't need to know what's going on in the real world.
True. Blind as a bat. Mike in Florida.
Hey, Sam. What's going on, bud?
How are you?
As much as it pains me to call you out on something here, you're talking about people that have like power trips and have too much ego. Aren't you the one that had to apostrophize the show to show ownership over it?
First of all, can I tell you something, Mike?
Mike is so smart.
I love Mike.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Love your use of the word apostrophize. I love words. I mean, regardless of the point, we can bicker in a moment, but I just, right now, like that, I like words, and that one was like, yeah, that was awesome. But
I've been saving that one for a while.
It's because there's not that many contexts in which you can say apostrophize, but it was awesome. It was, so all due respect and credit for that. But I told you, I lead with a vision. I lead through collaboration. I want everyone to do better around me. Okay. And what did I say about people like that? They might have
a micro penis.
No. I said.
I'm sorry.
No, you got the categories wrong. I said that was hanging schlong. Micro penis is the other category.
Phimosis?
No.
That phimosis might have come back on you, and now you got micro penis disorder.
They had to get rid of the phimosis because it just kept growing.
Oh, snap,
yeah. They couldn't hold it back anymore. That's true.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Good day, Samo.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike's right.
No, he's not, because I don't
wield your power.
No, because I don't tell people what to do. Because if I did tell people what to do, this whole operation would run a lot more smoothly. No, I let people make their own mistakes, and then I go like this. Now, did that seem like it was a good idea?
You talk about hot dog? Mostly?
A lot of the times, yeah. Yeah. I try not to tell... I don't tell people what to do. I try not to micromanage.
You don't. You're good at that.
Yeah, you're very
I don't like micromanagers. And I've never known I don't think micromanagers are particularly successful either.
I don't think so either.
And it's like, also...
No, they find problems to create.
Yeah.
So they can say that they solved them.
I think that stifles creativity, too.
I think it does. I think it hugely stifles creativity. I think that you end up not getting the best out of... you should have people around you that are good at stuff, better at stuff than you are at particular things, and they're not going to be better at it if you're being micromanaged. And also, you should be getting paid for the job if you're doing the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you want it on your plate, why would I...
No, we've worked for micromanagers before.
They stink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
I like micro machines.
I like micro machines, but I haven't liked them as much since that guy with the fast voice died.
Yeah, I don't even think they make them anymore.
Well, yeah, as far as I know. But that guy with the fast voice, when he was making micro machines, that was awesome.
He made them.
Okay. I had an amazing micro machines collection growing up. Oh, massive. Wow. I was like, I was like Kevin McAllister with my micro machines. If any burglar broke into my house, I would have broken his neck on all my micro machines. I loved micro machines.
You want to hear the commercial?
Yes.
Hang on. I have to wait for this ad.
Do you have micro machines?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were
the
great.
Micro Machine Man, presenting the most miniature motorcade of Micro Machines. Each one has dramatic detail,
midget?
perfect precision paint jobs,
That's
plus incredible
hilarious.
Micro Machine pocket play sets. There's a police station, fire station, restaurant, service station, and more. Perfect pocket portables to take any place. And there are many miniature play sets to play with, and each one comes with its own special edition Micro Machine vehicle and fun, fantastic features that miraculously move. Raise the boat lift at the airport marina, man the gun turret at the army base, clean your car at the car wash, raise the toll bridge. And these play sets
all
fit
these
together to
things
form a
look
Micro
awesome.
Machine
I want
world.
it again.
Micro Machine pocket play sets, so tremendously tiny, so perfectly precise, so dazzlingly detailed, you'll want to pocket them all. Micro Machines and Micro Machine pocket play sets sold separately from Galoob. The smaller they are, the better they are.
That's what she said.
That's awesome.
Is it?
yeah. She's making me feel better. No, the smaller they are, the better they are. Yeah. No, I had a ton of micro machines. I loved those things. But I always in the commercial, they tried to the selling of the micro machines were these tiny little toy cars, but they were incredibly small.
Smaller than Hot Wheels.
Way smaller. And the selling point would be that on the commercial, the salesman or whoever would play with them, make them move with one finger. They put their index finger on the roof of the car and just push them forward. And I would always try to, you're supposed to do it with your finger. When you're a kid, you got to play with them the way you're supposed to play with them. And it was never very effective. It was just to demonstrate they're even smaller than your finger. But yeah, man, I love those.
Yeah.
Scott in Kentucky. What's up, Scott? No, Scott?
Scott, go.
All right. Well, Scott, you lost it. Yeah. I don't know. And I feel now it's more influencer based when they can get kids to get involved in those products. You just get somebody on a YouTube channel to be this rules. But back then, if you saw, there was so much put into those commercials to make something look cool or memorable. You would watch those things and you would have to have that stuff. And you just describe it exactly. There were geniuses behind the marketing on those commercials. Because you were a kid, you'd see the commercial once. And you'd go to your mom or dad and you'd explain why you needed this product exactly the way the commercial did. You'd take the verbiage verbatim and go, I need this product because here's why. And it's almost scary how quickly it would get ingrained in your brain. Now it's not that dissimilar because now,
Yeah, they still do that with the commercials.
Not TV commercials, you think?
Yeah.
For kids? Kids need stuff?
Well,
yes, kids need stuff.
That's true.
No, but when you see something, I need that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I brought my daughter, who was 5 at the time, because it was Christmas, to see Santa. And you know what she asked for?
Bone Storm?
She said, yeah, what was the catchphrase?
Buy me Bone Storm or
go to hell. She said to Santa, buy me Bone Storm or go to hell. She told Santa she wanted every toy that's on TV.
Yeah. See?
Yeah. I would like every toy that's on TV, and Santa was like, okay.
The worst when my daughter was younger was if she saw something right before Christmas on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, fuck, I already
Right. You already
got
did.
you everything.
You can't do it in advance because she'd see it right before.
Yeah.
And then that thing that she asked for 3 weeks ago, completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't want that anymore.
And it's already in your closet. You already paid for it.
Yeah, I'd be like, you already told Santa.
Right.
Fuck. She'd be like, yeah, but Santa knows.
Right. That's why you can always catch me in Target on the 23rd of December.
Yeah, but you're just looking for action figures.
Yeah, I'm in the wrestling section, but still, I'm in there fighting with all the parents trying to get my Turbo Man.
He got 2.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but I saw that 50 Cent's documentary about the Gilgo Beach killer.
Oh, yeah.
Is on Peacock. I'm definitely going to, I don't know if I'll get a chance before the weekend, but I'm definitely going to watch that. I've seen like the news surrounding it is, of course, what was his name? Rex Heuermann? Yep. Yes.
They got a lot of people for that.
Well, I know they got, it's crazy how many they got because he hasn't gone to trial yet. And that they got
he's
some
sitting in jail.
Yeah, they got some names for it. Like, I know that they got his daughter and his wife in this doc, which, like, not that I plan on being brought up on any serious charges anytime soon, but if I am, like, I'd like to think that my wife is not going to do a 50 Cent documentary before my trial even happens. Like, if you say
unless they got paid real well, and now you need money because your source of income is sitting in jail.
I guess that's true.
You know,
because you don't get that. Yeah, you don't get life insurance if they're just going to jail.
Yeah, for murder.
Yeah, can I get life insurance on the other person's life? No, I don't think so.
And they got his best friend, too.
By the way, you know Nicole from the Morning Mashup legitimately thought that if your loved one dies, like if your husband dies, like she thought if her husband dies, she would get her husband's life insurance and her life insurance back.
No, it's not.
She thought you get both.
It's not a twofer.
She goes, but it'll be so expensive if he dies. Like, you get his life insurance and then yours. I go, what are you talking about? Why would you get your life insurance?
She doesn't understand the concept of life insurance.
No, you're still alive.
Yeah,
Why would you get your own life insurance? How could somebody get their own life insurance?
Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they did get a big check or something like that because...
God bless her.
Nicole?
Yes.
Yeah. Because the wife is in it and the daughter's in it. And apparently, according to all the news reports, they have conflicting viewpoints. So, like, the Gilgo Beach killer is the guy that got arrested last year, I want to say.
God, it feels like 2 years.
I know, it might be. But he's just this Long Island guy. He kind of looks like he could be related to Tim Dillon. And he's been out there and he's this like business guy. He's working in the city. There's videos of him, you know, as a business guy, being a businessman. And they spent years and years investigating this thing and following him and looking at phone records and realized that there is a strong possibility. They believe that when he wasn't working, when he wasn't at work, and his wife and daughter were out of town, that something he liked to do was go down to Gilgo Beach, hire prostitutes. Well, no, he liked to hire prostitutes, kill them, and then dump their bodies at Gilgo Beach. Because they had all these unsolved crimes at the beach, all these bodies, and they were able to tie them back to the same person, and they tied them back to him. And this is one of those cases, similar to BTK, where it's a family guy. Like the double life that's going on is not like, oh, we thought he was cool, but he was kind of a recluse. Or, oh, we thought he was fine, but he was, you know, a confirmed bachelor. John Wayne Gacy was always a confirmed bachelor.
Right.
Community guy, but you never knew what was going on in his home.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well,
confirmed
nobody.
Bachelor.
He was a confirmed bachelor, but nobody ever was like, he seemed like a cool dude. Like when Jeffrey Dahmer ended up being a cannibal, everybody that ever met him was like, yeah. That checks out. Matter of fact, it actually explains it. But this is one of those sort of fascinating, complete double life things where he had a whole family, he'd be around them all the time. And I think that that's what the doc is about because eventually it's a multi-part series, and I'm not doing spoilers because it's in all the news reports. I mean, I might be doing spoilers, but I haven't seen it, so how could I spoil it? Apparently in the doc, the wife says she doesn't think he did it. Like the wife goes, she couldn't have.
No frickin' way.
No frickin' way. And that's how you know she's from Long Island. No frickin' way. There's no frickin' way he did this.
No frickin' way is this man going out, soliciting sex from sex workers, killing them, and dumping them on Gilgo Beach.
Which is the part that he wouldn't do?
I think all of it.
Okay.
I've read some other quotes of hers. She seems like she's in some extreme
denial. Yeah. Well, I mean, imagine that.
Because then she also said, like, she went to go visit him in prison, and she's like, I fell in love with him all over again.
What the fuck? I mean, some of these ladies do love a serial killer in jail.
Yeah, but I mean, look at him.
That's true. He's not exactly Richard Ramirez. Doesn't exactly have that dark and mysterious vibe. Richard Ramirez kind of looked like a malnourished Chris Angel.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy's
like just a giant lunk of a man.
Yeah, he looks like the Blob from X-Men.
Yes.
The villain.
So yeah, she
loves him again. Yeah. She loves him all over again. Yeah, the daughter, however, she goes like, listen, he didn't do it around me. I didn't see him do it around me. But yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And it's one of those things where I think it's not like you can say, now that I think about it as personality, you have to go, listen, there's all this stuff where we would leave him alone and he would not be at home. And he did say this weird thing this one time. And he did, like, you kind of have to strip your relationship of the person that you knew and think, is it possible that this person had a complete double life?
Yeah.
I find those to be so fascinating.
And I think that's what his wife can't wrap her head around yet.
Right, because
there's no way I missed this.
Mm-hmm. Because when it's a parent, you could say, well, there was a power dynamic. Like, to a degree, as a parent, you always put on some version of yourself for your kid. Like, hopefully it's the best version of yourself. But the idea that the wife chose this person, married this person, and chose to stay married to this person, I'm sure you would have to deal with some kind of guilt of like, how did I not see this coming? How could I be so dumb? It says the daughter seems torn throughout the 3-episode docuseries.
Thank you.
Saying she's on the fence, which that's not what you want to hear as a father. She said, this is my dad. I love him as my dad. The hate is the other side of him that came out. In the final episode, however, the documentary's producers reveal in an on-screen statement, Victoria now believes her father is most likely the Gilgo Beach killer. In an interview Tuesday, the lawyer confirmed her mindset. Being front and center during this process, she has received overwhelming amounts of evidence, just like we all have, that led to an inescapable conclusion. Like, they're going like, look, I understand you don't want it to be true, but there's literally no other way. Like, all of these things happened. If all of these things happened, the only potential conclusion is this.
I think they ended up finding, like, some of the, like, a strand of the wife's hair even on, like, one of the bodies.
Oh my God. Like it came off his clothes.
Yeah. So, like, this wife who just has all the evidence in the world
is like, nope.
No, I don't think it was him. Also, I love him again.
She gets all this evidence. She goes into jail. Just tell me the truth. Did you do it? He goes, look, I'm going to tell you the truth right now. No.
I'm going to tell you what. You look great.
And by the way, did you lose weight? Well, I mean, no, I didn't. I don't know. You look really good. Did you get your hair done or something? No, I didn't. Yeah. Anyway, you're going to see some stuff in the news. It's bullshit, dude. It's bullshit.
They also interviewed his best friend. I saw that yesterday.
Still best friend?
No, not anymore.
Elon?
No, not best buddy.
His Elon?
But that's got to be such a fucking head trip.
Yeah.
Like, because this guy's like, you know, he's just a great guy. Like, we bonded over just everything.
Okay, the fact that it can happen. I'm not going to attribute a crime.
Go ahead.
10 years from now, a documentary producer calls you, says, we want to do a documentary about somebody in this room. Who is it about?
Mike.
Troy, same question. A documentary producer calls you 10 years in the future and goes,
well, what's the documentary about?
Yeah.
It's similar to this.
Oh, okay.
Same answer?
Yes.
Okay. It's somebody in this room, and they say, we want to do a documentary about. Who is it about?
In this room?
Mm-hmm.
Mike.
Hey, intern Malcolm, you've been here for 10 days, right? A week and a half, maybe?
Yeah.
Documentary producer calls you 10 years from now. They said, as a young man, you met him. you saw this side of him that a lot of people didn't see. We all know him now as this monster. Whatever the monstrous thing he did, it's a monster documentary. It's a human monster documentary.
Well, that wasn't specified at the jump. So far, all we know is that Travis and Troy think I'm the most compelling one in the room.
No, it's about a monster. Same answer?
Yes.
Same answer?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that you clarified that, Mike. You worked with him. You, as a young, impressionable young man, you worked with him. Who is him?
I would say maybe Mike, but maybe Travis. I could see Travis have like an insane, like falling down style mental breakdown.
Wow. Gotcha.
The domesticity just shatters.
Interesting, because everything is too tightly wound with him. but also maybe, what was the first thing you said? Maybe Mike.
Maybe Mike.
Maybe Mike. Okay.
Maybe Mike, sorry.
Mike, is this a surprise to you?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit more of an open book. I feel like if there are bodies in someone's closet, Travis is the more likely.
Okay, so here's my take now that we have the two. So for you, all right, Mike, same question for you. Wouldn't it be great if Mike was like, no, it'd probably be about me.
Yeah, I'd
probably be doing the interviews from jail. This documentary about this monster that was hiding in plain sight. That's what it's about. This horrible monster that we can't even fathom the evil that he was capable of. He was hiding in plain sight. You worked with him. Who is the documentary about?
I mean, Travis is the most this guy. With
Go ahead.
The Disney and the family pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
It's everything that you would see on the cover of the New York Post.
He had a Tinkerbell statue in his living room.
Yeah.
And now, by the way, that Tinkerbell statue, Travis, after everybody finds out,
Blood splatters?
I'm thinking about the amount of money that Tinkerbell statue would go for on the secondary market. Like, to know, I've got and it's even like the right name, right? The Travis Teft Tinkerbell statue. Doesn't Travis the Teft crimes?
No, it doesn't roll off. That name does not roll off the tongue.
Although at the same time, who would have thought one of New York's greatest investigative reporters gave birth to the monster of... Where are you from in Jersey?
Glen Rock.
Is there anything around you that starts with an M?
Mawa, Montvale.
Montvale?
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. The monster of Montvale? Mike Montone?
Mike.
Oh, my God. The monster of Montvale, Mike Montone.
I mean, I'd rather be the Glen Rock Ghoul. I would rather they get some credit.
I don't... Okay, the Glen Rock Ghoul. I can sell that. Yeah. I would do that, Doc, and interview all you guys.
For sure.
About the Glen Rock Ghoul. And then, Malcolm, because you're a younger man, I would ask you all kinds of leading questions and go like, he really didn't do anything compromising to you? Because the murders would be... The crimes would be sexually based.
in this hypothetical. I would have to point on a bear where he touched me.
Yeah, the crimes would be sexually based.
No, I'm a ghoul, not a pederast.
Well, no, and Malcolm is of age.
I'm exhuming bodies and maybe selling them for medical research or something like that.
I think you're doing something with
That's
the body.
ghoulish.
No, you're exhuming bodies, and that, like Ed Gein exhumes
He's
bodies.
using long pins.
Yeah.
I'm not the Nutley necrophiliac.
Oh, that's a good one too. Maybe you are. Ed Gein, I mean, he would exhume bodies, and he would also chop them up and everything like you would do.
Mater D at Canal Bar.
But he would also, like the police found, he had like a collection, a shoebox of severed vulvas that he would spray paint silver. That's true. And I could see that.
I used to drive a Forest Green Volvo.
See, Volvo. I could see that being hidden behind the Eric Cartman doll. Like, wouldn't it be funny if they ripped off the Eric Cartman's head on the doll, and you found that it was stuffed with severed vulvas? Could you see it?
I probably.
Okay. That's all.
Peel back the John Belushi college poster on the wall, and there's just
oh yeah, it's
all
like
sorts of trinkets.
Yeah, it's the horrific version of the jail escape.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank. It's the horrific Shawshank, the worst possible outcome. Yeah, I think there are two stories here. I think that the Travis story is no. The Mike story is. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then, see, when Travis got caught, he would be like, it would be one of those, like, humiliating perp walks where this double life has finally been exposed, and it's like almost a weight is lifted, but also he's trying to maintain the double life. When Mike gets arrested, his perp walk is, I don't understand the problem. I don't know what's wrong. I don't believe I committed any crime.
I'm sure entirely because of anti-Italian discrimination.
That's right. He's a anti-Italian discrimination. And then Dateline would visit him in the jail, and he'd go like this, it was fun. I'm having fun.
I mean, if they were dead already, why can't we take their vulvas?
That's right. I mean, they weren't using them. Andrew in Florida.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great.
I wanted to give Troy some details because I don't want to give every detail of this family, but just so he didn't think I was bullshitting. But my sister's childhood best friend's father was actually indicted for the murder of his assistant.
Whoa!
And I believe there was the accusation involved too, or part of the evidence or whatever was that his wife actually helped dispose of evidence, which I think was a blood-stained shirt. And this was like a high-profile case for a few reasons. One, this was a hotshot. I think he worked for the prosecutor's office, but he might have just been, just some other kind of hotshot lawyer. But it made me think of it because you got kind of that. I almost feel for that, at least in a little way, for that, alleged killer's daughter, because like 100%. our entire family, like in a lot of ways felt, I mean, first of all, like super icky, like, oh man, like, my sister was alone with this family for like vacations and stuff.
Like your sister would go on vacation with the whole family, including the dude.
Oh yeah. They were best friends from grade school up until probably the middle of high school.
Did that fuck your sister up? Like the fact that she interacted with this person? Because most of the time, like these stories, we read these stories about murders and stuff like that, and it is removed from our existence. Like none of us can actually like fathom it being reality at all. Like it's this thing that you read about. It's not anything.
That just happens to other people.
Exactly right. Like the idea that like, oh, this person who I made eye contact with, who I spoke about with, I remember saying this thing to him, is a person who is not only capable of, but did a murder. I feel like that would fuck me up.
So funnily enough, my sister didn't really, as far as I know, get messed up by it. She ended up becoming a criminal profiler.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it had no effect on her whatsoever.
Well, no. So this was after she became this whole accusation and everything was after was after she became a criminal profiler. So this was like when my sister was an adult when this happened. But my father had a harder time with it because he's just like, you protect your daughter, you protect your kid, and you have no idea who you're trusting. And like, I mean, do you remember Indian Princesses, that YMCA program?
No, I remember the Indian from the Village people that sang YMCA.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think it's the same program.
Okay, cool.
No, but like they used to do like daddy-daughter vacations with them, and
wow,
like shared cabins and all that. So, my dad's like a very gentle kind of Christian kind of guy, so. If you were to be like, Dad, you know what? He ran over someone's dog and didn't pull over to stop. That would like devastate my dad,
Yeah, that's.
So then telling him something like this.
Yeah, like and also your dad tries to almost like curate this universe around him where there is this kind of wholesome morality.
Oh yeah, it was suburbia, man. It was middle class suburbia for sure, And
then realizing that you've let somebody like that into this bubble that you've created is like, I mean, talking about a total like any control that you thought you had was just thrown out the window.
Yeah, for sure. And, again, I'm sure if anybody were so inclined, they could find it if you can't tell from my Jersey accent. It was a pretty high-profile case. But, yeah, again, I think it was prosecutorial misconduct or improper handling of evidence. Like, it seemed like a technicality, but, I mean, I'm not a lawyer either, so I don't know.
That's nuts. That's
but
crazy.
Anyway, I got to get into work. So
all right,
thanks for taking my call, guys.
All right, leave your assistant alone. Thank you very much. Let's go to Chris in. Bless you. Let's go to Chris in Chicago. What's up, Chris?
Hey guys, yeah, I saw the Netflix documentary on the Gilgo Beach murders, and to say that this guy was just some normal Joe is, I think, a bit of a stretch. He was a weirdo, a sloppy weirdo.
Well, was he? Well, I mean, I've worked with sloppy weirdos before. They're sometimes late to work a lot. They have to put weird powders in their water. Well, wait, did people know that he was a sloppy weirdo, or did that all kind of like, oh, he was also, yeah.
So, like, there was a part in the documentary on Netflix that talked about how he bought his house from his mom.
Yeah.
And it was, like, super run down, and the property was disgusting. And I don't think anybody was... I think there was, like, surprised, but not like, oh, there's no way that guy could have ever done that. It was like, yeah, I guess we could kind of see... Huh. He would be the kind of guy to do that.
Except the wife. The wife is running around going, no.
Frickin' way.
No frickin' way.
Not, right?
That's frickin' crazy.
I just want to, if you like that documentary, there's a serial killer that was based out of Indianapolis who they found 10,000 bone fragments in his backyard. And that's the second most number of unidentified bones outside of the World Trade Center.
Jesus.
Whoa. 10,000 bone fragments.
Fox Creek. Yeah. But the Fox Creek murders out of Indianapolis. He was just killing gay dudes.
Wow. I'll check that out. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for the reco.
Yep.
Wow.
10,000 bone fragments. Now, were these very, very small bone fragments? Like he killed 2 people, but they crunched them up into 5,000 pieces each?
No.
Okay. All right.
Oh, this guy killed himself.
Rest in peace.
Authorities believe at least 25 individuals may be buried at the 18-acre estate.
Jesus.
Of Herb Baumeister.
No wonder.
You think he got tired of
everybody
calling
his
him a Herb?
name? Yeah, I mean Herb. All right, fine. What's your last name? Baumeister. The Baumeister.
You are a Herb.
Yeah, that dude sucks.
I'm gonna kill all of you.
He does strike me. Yeah, he has a Steve Buscemi list from Billy Madison. Mike in Pennsylvania. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Sam.
Hey, man.
I was wondering, I'm sure you've seen some of the clips by now of Oz Perlman going on Joe Rogan, and he's been making his rounds. I guess he's got a book coming out of the crazy shit he's been doing.
Yeah, dude. First of all, I watched the whole Rogan thing because I've watched so much Oz Perlman. I watched him on ESPN. I watched him on CNBC. I watched him on McAfee. Because I'm trying to figure it out. Like I'm watching everything he's doing, to tell you the truth.
The biggest explanation that people keep saying is that it has to be a work, and since you're the Lord of the Marks, I figured you're the most qualified to weigh in. What do you think?
Okay, good question, Mike. Thank you. So Oz Perlman is, for those that don't know, you look him up. You've never seen this guy?
No.
Oh my God! Like he's a mentalist.
Oh God!
But he shows up. He did something, I believe, with the Cincinnati Bengals on ESPN that was insane. But he comes up, one of his go-to tricks, for instance, is he'll say, think of your PIN number, your ATM PIN number. He did this to Rogan.
Bosco.
He'll go, think of your ATM PIN number, and then he'll ask you a couple of questions, and he'll come up with the PIN number. He'll write it down and show it to you. Yeah, and you'll be like, how the fuck did he do that? He's watching, I don't know if he's watching how your mouth moves, or he's watching how your eyes move, or whatever. To the point where, Rogan seemed legit freaked out by it. Rogan seemed uncomfortable.
Really?
By his tricks. I don't like this. Because, Rogan likes to be in control of his show. And when he realized that, he was like, oh, that's my actual ATM pin. He just guessed my ATM pin like that. He's like, what the, he didn't cast him away, but he almost wanted him to get out of here. One of the other tricks was Oz gave him a sealed envelope in the beginning.
Is that his name?
Oz.
That's a horrible name.
Well, look, he knows
tricks.
tricks.
Short for something?
I don't know. He knows tricks.
Osmandus or something?
I don't know what his full name is. Perlman is his last name, I think. No. But he hands Rogan this sealed envelope at the beginning of the podcast. It's a 3-hour podcast. Hands him it in the beginning of the podcast. And then by the end of it, he opens the envelope, and it's predicted stuff that you couldn't have predicted that happened on the podcast, that seemed like it was just like random things that happened. It was all in the envelope, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Now, do I think it's a work? I think I like a work in the sense that a cooperative thing. No, because I don't think Rogan would be a part of that, and it didn't.
The Bengals and I saw you did a video with Milwaukee Bucks.
Right.
And there's so many people.
Right. Rogan seemed too freaked out by it, to tell you the truth. Number one, I don't think Rogan would be interested in doing that. He doesn't strike me as the type that's really interested in doing bits.
Yeah.
But like if you did it on Howie Mandel's show, I'd be like, this is a complete work. This is all Howie Mandel does is work. But I don't think Rogan would be in on the work. I mean, clearly, it's not powers of magic. It's not magical powers. It's.
I mean, David Blaine's been doing this type of stuff.
Yes, it's some kind of process. And I like what I like to study about this dude is the way that he speaks, because he has this interesting way of having conversations where he'll ask you a question and his responses are always immediate. Like he's talking to you and he's like, Troy, you watch football, right? Troy, do you watch football, right? You like to watch football?
Yeah.
You like football. And your team is the Jets. Is your team the Jets?
Yes.
Right. But if you said no, you might not like the Jets. Like your other team would it be the Bengals or it wouldn't be the Bengals?
No.
I didn't think it would be the Bengals. And if it's not the Bengals, and like he has this way of talking like that, where I'm going, there is something going on here where he's not just curious. He's retaining some kind of cues that he's learned, or I think it might boil down to like the way people emphasize certain syllables. I think that he goes home and studies tape of them talking. I think that he might have him and his staff might have a research team that's wider than people realize, that is, before he goes on a big show, retaining massive amounts of information. But I also just think he's like extremely studied, because he's an obsessive guy too. Like he said when he did Rogan that he did a marathon like before the podcast that day. Like he was like, I just ran 27 miles and then had a bunch of Gatorade and came to Rogan. So like the fact that he's that obsessive is like, I think that he's very obsessed with what the art form is and the social cues and everything. But I really want to have him in here. For two reasons. Number one, of course, you want to see the tricks, but also, I don't believe any of these psychics. Like, I think like the whole medium thing, I don't believe in the genre. I don't believe any of it, personally. And I think that the stuff that he does,
it's all tricks.
And the fact that he's telling you I am doing tricks is evidence of the fact that those people are also probably doing tricks. And I would like to hear his opinion on the psychics and what tricks I believe that they're doing, because I don't have a problem with it at all. Like I don't mind people doing mentalist tricks under the context of, hey, you want to see me do some cool shit? You want to see me guess something you probably don't think I could guess, and then you guess it. But the idea of, here, let me take your money. You're in a vulnerable place, and I'd like to emotionally connect you with somebody who's passed on, when I'm not really doing that. That's scumbag stuff. You know what I mean? That's like, that's taking advantage of people.
I wonder what Penn Jillette thinks of him.
I would love to talk to Penn Jillette about O's.
Because I'm sure Penn knows a lot about how he does what he's doing.
100%.
And he probably has some opinions on what he's doing.
Yes. And he's good at it. Do you have any? I saw you like.
Yeah, I mean, I've got him doing something with Deion Sanders. I've got him guessing somebody's nickname on the Bengals. Yeah,
is there something quick?
Yeah, this is 50 seconds.
Perfect.
I got one for you.
What?
I got one
Tilt
for
it
you.
so you can see it too.
What you got for me? What's the question?
There you go.
What's my childhood nickname?
I thought he was going to ask for the lottery numbers, to be honest.
Oh, I should have asked you that.
It's a childhood nickname. Running back got me running. For real? You stand up, middle of the show. This guy hits me with a question. I wonder if I'm close. What was it?
Booby.
What was it?
Booby.
Not even close. Dead on!
That one's a little weird.
I mean, that almost feels like, you're just doing Nardwuar research.
Like he knew. Yeah, I like the ones more where you can see him. Of course
we know.
Right,
You're
right,
Booby.
right. And you were known as... How do you know that? That's the other... Yeah, that is true. Nardwuar does mentalist tricks, too. He's just an obsessive researcher.
Yeah.
That does feel a little research, because I didn't even see any chance for...
No. There was no,
cues.
like... There was no, like, well, what did you do?
Look up him getting Rogan's pin. That is...
I have that.
Okay, yeah.
That's like 4 minutes.
That's okay. We'll watch a little bit of it, see if we lose interest. But that is a little bit a better example of what this guy does.
There's also him guessing the name of Jamie's first crush.
That was a good one, but Jamie is like... I mean, he's like... and I think that Jamie was making it difficult on purpose, which I appreciate. But he was like... He wants you to think of your first crush's name, and then he's going to guess your first crush. And Jamie was like, "Well, what if it was somebody from TV? Well, do you want the actress or the character name?" And Oz is just like make it simple. But yeah, the pin trick, and this is one of his go-tos. Like he's done this with multiple people. Some people think it's witchcraft. Troy, you might think it's witchcraft. You might think it's voodoo.
Okay, nailed that question. Well played.
Thank you.
You got your sister's happy, your wife's happy. If I asked you, would your wife know your social security number?
No.
She doesn't know it.
No.
So, is there any way in the world I could know your social security number?
I don't think so.
Right, you say I'm a stalker. Who knows? Yeah,
you
also,
could get the information.
Maybe
online.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical. You're skeptical.
Well, especially someone famous.
Yeah. Fully. Plus, you can't change that, so I'm not going to do that to you.
Data dumps. Yeah.
If I told you right now to make up a random number, I'd say, get out your...
You see how quickly he's asking questions? Like, there's something to that cadence where, and it might be a matter of having somebody drop their guard because they're so focused on answering these questions immediately that maybe, like, their kind of facial, like, their gives show. Like, they can't put on a poker face if they're consistently answering these questions, but there's... I think something to that cadence. And for context, this is also like the beginning of the podcast. It's not like he's had 3 hours to watch Rogan the whole time. All right, you go back to it.
Your calculator. I'd love that. And you add it up and you do a random number. Screw calculator. I want it to be spontaneous. Would your wife know your ATM PIN code? No?
No.
Lie to me. Do not tell me your real ATM PIN code.
Okay.
Obviously, unless you want to. Make up a fake 4-digit number off the top of your head. What feels to you utterly spontaneous. Okay. When I say go... 1, 2, 3, 4-digit code, random, go.
Okay.
Say it.
2020.
2020, okay. So you ask me, how do I do what I do? I'm going to write down 2020.
Okay.
It's weird, but statistically, men will lie bigger, women smaller. Men like to lie by saying things are bigger, right? No shocker.
Okay.
So I don't think I would tell you right off the jump for me that means that your first number, you don't have to say anything yet, I wrote 2020 is smaller. That's what most people do when they're rushed. If I had given you 5 minutes, you would have done this different.
No, I wouldn't have.
No, you would have.
Why would I have?
Because you would have thought about it, and then people go down a different path.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay, worked out for me either way. You'll be honest if I'm right.
Okay.
I got a hit, which means it's a 0 or 1. I think the first number of your code's a 1, isn't it? Your real PIN code.
My ATM
PIN code.
Why would I tell you that on the air?
Should I only show this to you?
Sure.
Only show it to you.
Yeah.
Can we acquiesce that the first number I got was correct?
Yes.
Okay.
He's so
now,
pissed.
You did repetition. So yeah, I like the fact when people always say to me it's fake when they watch the videos, they're like, you must have set up. Joe doesn't even want this to happen right now. He had no idea this was going to happen. You used 2 numbers in repeats. What that means is you probably did the same thing. You also didn't use any of the same numbers. So I know there's not a 2, a 0, or a 2 in it. I don't think so either.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching you while I say it. You put the hand up. You might as well have said yes to me out loud. So now I know. Think of the second number, third number, fourth number. Every time you did it, it's a data point.
Okay.
I'm only going to ask you one more question. I'm not looking for answers. The last number is the biggest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm showing this to you. Is there a camera behind me? I don't want to make sure. I'm only going to show it to you. It's not 2020. How'd I do, Joe? Is that your ATM PIN code?
Yeah.
See, he's pissed. Look.
That's weird. I'm skeptical because I've got that PIN code in the mail. You know?
So Joe thinks that he somehow got to the bank.
Went through his mail.
Went through the mail, got to the bank, had the bank tell him, like, hey, bank, what was Joe's PIN code? And then the bank was like, oh, you're Oz the Mentalist? I'd love to tell you.
Yeah, I'm going on Rogan later.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't like it. But yeah, so that's more what he does, which is crazy.
It's voodoo.
What do you think? Witchcraft?
You got me, man. I have no idea.
Possibly.
Maybe it's possible to tap into certain powers. I have no idea.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Yeah. But I would love to have him in here because I want to see it. I want to see it in action.
Yeah.
We would have to get Kenny in here too.
Oh my God! When we had we had a magician in here, and he was doing magic tricks, and he had an assistant outside the studio, and he was doing one of those magic tricks where like you throw the card, and like the trick was going to be that the card, he throws the card and it ends up on the glass outside the studio, and while everybody was distracted, this magician had an assistant outside the studio that we didn't even know about. And he sticks the card to the outside of the glass when nobody's looking, so it would be there when we turn around. Except immediately, Club Soda Kenny, who was acting as security at the time, walks up and takes the card off the glass. And the magician's just like, "Well,
fucked him up so bad. It was so funny,
so funny,
and so Kenny.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But I mean, Oz said that he works on these tricks for like years at a time.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this.
Yeah, so yeah, I've thought about that too. I can't answer how he does it until I would have to see him do it in front of me to me. Like I can't see him doing it to somebody
but stop
else.
thinking that you're like smarter than everyone else and you'd be able to figure it out if
I've never met anybody
right
smarter than
in
me.
front of you.
I would at least I'd pick up on something. I think I'm smarter than everybody else. No?
Yeah, I know you think you're smarter than everybody else.
But do you think I'm smarter than everybody else?
Yeah, you're the kind of person that's like, I was going to say that.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
that is actually what I was going to say.
That's actually I was about to say that.
Yeah. No, I was thinking the same thing as you.
Don't think that you're smart enough to be like, just get him in this room and I got him.
Well, I don't think
Dead to rights.
No. I might
I'll figure it out.
But by the way, I might.
By the way, Rogan's a pretty smart guy too.
Yeah.
If he can't figure it out.
Well, I'm pretty smart too, so I mean, some things Rogan will figure out, some things I'll figure out, There are questions I know that Rogan doesn't know the answer to. I know the answer to them.
Yeah, like who won WrestleMania 6?
Warrior.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
Rogan doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we don't know that Rogan doesn't know that.
You think he would?
Maybe.
Well, who knew it quick though?
Oh, you're pretty quick.
Yeah. I was like,
I was like, tip of your tongue.
I was looking at him like, seriously, that's the question.
That's the question. That's the.
It's not even in your house. WrestleMania 6. That's a big one.
Maybe Rogan brushed up after TKO closed.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. No, but I would like to at least.
Oh yeah, I love this shit.
Witness it happening
because it's
Well,
fun.
I like that Rogan thing because Rogan is very skeptical. So the fact that he wasn't like, there are a lot of people who love like being tricked. I don't like being tricked. You know what I mean? I'm more of a skeptic.
Yeah, but when you see it right in front of your face,
it's cool.
It's so
cool, especially if I'm like.
And I love like those videos of like David Blaine just like blowing people's minds.
Yeah,
because he's the best at what he does.
David Blaine is outrageously good.
Yeah. And it's just so fun because you know it's a trick.
I mean,
it's a trick.
But David Blaine is a great example because it's a whole mindset and lifestyle. It's not something that you can just go, oh, here's this little trick that anybody could do. No, it's somebody who's like trained their brain like a professional athlete and dedicated themselves to this craft. Like when I realized, like, here's when I realized, oh, okay, this is what David Blaine does. This is how he does everything. Is when, I mean, it was years and years ago. I had a big afro. I was cutting my teeth in radio. And I go down and David Blaine is hanging upside down in Central Park. And I was like interviewing him, for a What's the Haps. And he was upside down and I was talking to him with my little microphone. And I was trying to muster up the balls to do the question that I really wanted to do, and I did. And I said, okay, last question. As he's like miserable hanging upside down, I go, okay, David Blaine, last question. Why do you think they call you the Mind Freak?
Great question.
Yeah, and he goes, "That's not me. That's somebody else. That's not me." I go, "Oh, okay, sorry. I just wanted to." Right. Years later, like that was when we were at K-Rock. Like that was years later. We're at Sirius XM. I am now doing my own thing. I'm interviewing David Blaine. I still had hair, so I didn't look totally different. But it was years. And he goes, "Didn't you interview me once?" And I go, and this was not on the air. This was like as we were walking to the studio. He goes, "Didn't you interview me once?" I was like, yeah, I did. And he goes, "Yeah, you asked about Chris Angel." And I was like, holy shit.
He's probably got obviously a very good memory, a photographic memory maybe.
And he's probably trained it.
Yeah.
Like that's how tuned in he is. And I think that that's what the trick is. If you're excellent at this, if you're doing what David Blaine is doing or O's is doing, you got to be totally tapped into your brain on all levels.
Like, I don't think that this is teachable to a point. Like, I don't think everybody could do this if they just studied real hard and tried it out.
No, it's teachable the way, what David Goggins, is that the...
Walton Goggins,
yeah. Yeah, it's teachable the way, like, you could train somebody to be an elite athlete.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could, but you'd have to dedicate your entire life and also have some gifts that are given to you, naturally. Yeah. Brian in Connecticut.
Hey guys.
Hey man.
So I don't believe in this stuff either. I went to a Montel Williams taping in the '90s with my good friend, and Sylvia Brown was on. And my buddy got up to ask a question. He's like, you kind of point out that you go to a middle-aged person, and be like, oh, you're going to be taking care of an older person, or you need to look out. You're going to have an injury in your back. And it's like, he pointed out, well, that's kind of obvious. As people are getting older, they're going to have to take care of their parents, or your body starts falling apart. And she says, okay, I'll get real specific with you. That cavity you have that you've been ignoring for the last few months, that's going to start to affect your hearing, and you don't want that, do you? He's a musician, and he's a good friend, and I knew that he had a rotting tooth in his skull.
I bet.
And
I bet he had
the other thing.
I bet he had a lisp and a guitar pick around his neck.
No, he did not. He did, but he also, she's like, also in the next couple months, you're going to be moving into a 2-story white house with a petite, blonde, oval-faced girl. The funny thing, he was already living in a 2-story white house with a petite, oval-faced girl. And he played it off. He was like, oh, well, my girlfriend's not going to like that. And that was kind of the end of it.
Okay.
Fast forward a year later.
Wait. Number one, she was wrong. He's not going to. Number two, what shape is anyone's face? Literally,
she kind of
oval is the only shape of a face.
Wow, unless you're Rocky Dennis.
Okay,
she does.
So she nailed not a square face. Yeah, you're right about that. So she was right in the sense that she predicted properly he was not going to end up with Rocky Dennis.
she did. Yes. Okay.
Oval face.
She did have a very unique kind of borderline gray alien type kind of.
Like if I said you're going to end up with a blonde, and I kind of looks like somebody who's like blonde is their type. Like, I don't know if I'm a psychic. There's like 3 colors of hair.
No, but it was interesting to see that. But the other thing, fast forward a year later, the petite blonde went to a taping of the show, and Sylvia Brown was on again. And she got up and was like, hey, my boyfriend was on the show and played it off, but like you nailed everything correctly. So I mean, whether or not it was a trick, like that's some,
bro.
It's a fine skill.
I'm gonna tell you right. Yeah, it's a fine. I mean, and there were a lot of people like back in the 10s and 20s and 30s that would piss in a bottle and sell it as a snake oil that will be the cure for what ails you. You know what I mean? They were also very charismatic salesmen.
Yeah, if it works.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. But that's like.
You got me, man. I don't know.
Oh, I know. Oh, no. I know.
Well, how did Sylvia Brown do that?
Which I see was somebody with an oval face. Man, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
literally the shape of a skull. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People want to believe though, and I think like this was a funny one. I think what's his name was John Waters. Is he one of the big psychics? John Waters was that one of them? I think so.
John Waters.
I feel like it. Well, I don't know. One of the big psychics I did a show with once.
Roger Waters?
Roger Daltrey. That's who it was. I did like a podcast with when I was at Kevin Undergaro's place.
John Waters is...
Who's John Waters? John Waters. He told me he knew my future. And then he said, eat that shit on the ground over there. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking of some psychic who had a big like daily TV talk show. And I was in there with him and I was just like looking at him and he was like, so they told him I didn't believe any of it. And he was like, you don't believe this stuff? And I go, no, I don't. And he said, well, and he could tell like I wasn't giving him anything. And he goes, well, it's very difficult to tap in to the other side if you don't want to open that door. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I guess so. I didn't realize I was in control of the door. Thanks, buddy. Jonathan in Connecticut.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
I feel like Rogan has been kind of insulated and become double down on the conspiracy theories because every other podcast he has is like a conspiracy theory person. I think Oz was one of the few people that kind of like pushed him to kind of think out. Like he didn't like it, I feel like, because in the beginning he was like, Rogan kind of believed you're not going to get me. You get everybody else, but you're not going to get me. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of shook his ego a little bit. Because even in that clip, he was like, no, that pin wasn't, that was the company. And even before that, he was like, I don't think you're going to get me. You won't get me. You'll get like everyone else, but not me.
And then he did. I think Rogan wasn't ready for that.
No.
Which I like. I mean, it makes for good content.
Yeah, because his immediate reaction was like, well, they sent me that in the mail.
I know.
Just admit you.
Like, I'd be so mad at my bank if they gave Oz the Mentalist my pin. Like, why would you just...
Like, he's immediately looking for a reason why this worked.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah. And then they mentioned a conspiracy theory, the telepathy papers or whatever, with the kids being telepathic. And then Rogan was like, that's got to be real, right? And then he misunderstood Oz because he thought Oz agreed with him. And then I was like, no. I can tell you exactly why this is not real. And I think Rogan just did not want to hear that whatsoever because he's used to the conspiracy theories now. Like people just being like, yeah, it's totally like going against the government type of situation.
Yeah. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, you're right. And it is like a interesting point because number one, you feel like you're not going to get gotten and you get gotten. But number two, what makes those guys so nuts, one of the things that makes them so nuts is they know exactly how and what they're doing. So like this idea of like, oh, it could be this, it could be that. They're like, no, this is exactly what it is. Like they know exactly what they're doing and you don't. And so this idea of theorizing.
And you hate that.
And I hate it because I theorize what it could be and they're like, no.
You also don't like other people being in charge.
I know. Me?
And, yes, you. And Oz is in charge. Whether you like it or not, if he came into the studio, he's in charge.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
The apostrophe's not after his name.
That's why you're like,
what makes you think
I'm going to figure it out and then I'll be back in charge.
What makes you think I like to be in charge?
I don't know. It's just a feeling I have.
Every show, do you need a co-host? No.
No.
Yeah, no, I figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I get to the bottom of it. Yeah. I don't like these tricks. Tricks are for kids. That's what I always say. You would get a kick out of it though because you think I'd be uncomfortable?
Of course you would be.
Oh yeah.
You don't like not being in charge. You don't like people getting one over on you. Like it would be the best.
And you think he'd be in charge?
Yeah.
Do you think he'd get one or multiple over on me?
So many. He'd be dunking.
I would hate
DJ
that.
Khaled in the corner. So
I would hate that.
Another one.
The only Dunkin' I like has sprinkles on top. You know what I'm saying?
The only Dunkin' you like is on Fridays.
Oh, baby. I'm counting down the days. I missed my Dunkin' Friday because I was in L.A. last weekend.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't love it.
No.
I wouldn't love it. But I think I figured it out. I'd love that.
You wouldn't figure it out.
And then me and him after would be like talking about the work.
Yeah,
I know.
He'd be like, man, I can't believe you figured it out.
That's right. He'd respect me for respecting the work. Yeah, you're right. Penn Jillette would be a great person to talk about.
Yeah.
Because Penn also doesn't mind talking about other... Like he did the Fool Me show.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you, and that what was great about the Fool Me show was that Penn would be like, I'm not going to expose any of your tricks. Like, I'm not going to, it's not about ruining you. It's like, he would do it in a way where he'd go, I know how you did that, and I know how you did that.
There's a lot of code words.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And he'll say, like, if you don't, I'll spoil it for you if you want, but I know. And they go, okay, no, you figured it out. And then I think there were like 2 on that whole show. The Penn was like, that was great. I don't know how you did that.
Oh, there's more than that. That show's still on.
Is it?
Yeah, we watch it.
Like there are new episodes?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're on like season 12 or something.
was watching Penn Jillette on DJ Vlad. Did you know he did DJ Vlad?
I did.
It was a great interview. Yeah. Pierre in Norfolk.
Morning, boys.
Morning, Pierre.
Like I was telling Troy on the phone, my father recently passed away, right?
Yeah.
And we're at the funeral home.
Wait. Let me
and
get this. Let me see. I feel like you told me your father passed away. That we all knew. Like, obviously, you told me that. You talked to somebody about it, though, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, you did. You talked to
My
somebody
hair
about it.
My hair is brown.
You talked
what
to
color is
somebody-
my hair, Sam?
Your hair. You have brown hair.
Well,
you have brown hair. A little
can I
overweight. You're a little overweight,
Yes.
Pierre. You're a little overweight.
No, I'm tall and thin. You're very wrong.
You could stand
let
to
me
lose a
get to it.
pound or two. Wait. Did you talk to? You talked to somebody. You said before. You talked to somebody. A medium. You talked to a medium from.
His name was Troy. He's from Pennsylvania.
Long Island medium. Did you talk to Long Island medium? Is that who you talked to?
No. Yes, but hold on.
Okay.
Can I get to the point, Sam?
Thank you,
Sammy.
Pierre.
So, we're
Pierre.
at the
Wait. Listen. I want you to
Yes.
know, just going forward. You
Yes.
got to let me do my bit. I'm not going to hang up on you. You're going to get to tell your story.
All right. Continue, medium Sammy.
No, I did the
Sammy
bit.
chicken fingers, medium.
I had to do it
Tell
over
me your story.
Pierre, I had to do it over you. I had to do the bit over you. Like, let me do the bit, and then you get to your story.
All right. I'm calm now. Go.
No, do your story. Do your story. It's so great. You had to stomp all
All
over
right.
my
You
bit.
blew it, Pierre.
You're saying this story.
I blew it.
By the way,
They can't all be home runs.
By the
They
way,
can't all be home runs.
hang on, Pierre. Let me get the audience ready. I want all of you guys listening to strap in because Pierre has a story
I know
so
it's
good.
coming.
He has a story so
It
good.
ain't that good, bro.
He had to stomp all over my bit. He stomped all over it because the story is so good. Pierre, the floor is yours.
Okay, Sammy. My brother is a lot like your brother. He's celebrating June, if you catch my drift.
Okay, yes.
We're at the funeral home.
Catch the drift.
We're at the funeral home.
caught it.
We're trying to figure out a date
I'm a
for my dad's funeral.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to figure out a date for my dad's funeral.
Right.
And he's like, we can't do June 14th. I was like, well, what's June 14th? He's like, Therese Caputo is coming to the Dome. I have to go see her. And I'm like, you know that's for quacks, right? She can make you fill out a Q card and all that shit. And they're going to search your social media. That's what they do. Don't you guys listen to Bonfire? Sammy Shit Muffins.
Wait.
Good day, sir.
That was the end of the story, Pierre?
What, Sammy? Good day, sir.
That
Good
sucked,
day,
dude.
Sam.
That was terrible.
Oh, Sam, they can't all be home runs. I've been giving you gold.
That was the story?
Did you go? Did he? I mean, that felt like the act one, and he was like, "Goodbye." That felt like the end of Squid Game season 2, where it's like, "Wait, we didn't get anywhere."
No, we got somewhere in that.
You hate it when I say that.
I do, yeah. Starts up again in a few weeks.
I know. Well, yeah, starts up again. The season continues in a few weeks.
Final season, season 3.
Hate that.
Hate you.
Cool. Well, feelings mutual, and that's. I hated you first, by the way. I hated you when you still liked me, by the way. I never told you, but that's true. Remember I told you that, Troy?
Many times.
What? Many times.
For a period of time, it was all I was talking about.
You're like, good morning, Sam. I hate that fuck, Travis.
And you're like, I know.
To your credit, you do get obsessed with things. So
I do. I'm an obsessive
then
guy.
You go right in.
Yep.
I hate that guy.
Yep. Me and Bryce Dallas Howard, we get obsessed with our stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she hates me.
She does.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
It's a dream.
She said that guy on the board right there. Hate that guy.
She looked in.
Looked through peeked through the window. You'll get to hear our interview, by the way, with Bryce Dallas Howard and Orlando Bloom tomorrow. I'll plug it properly in a moment. But Donnie on Long Island.
Yeah, first of all, Troy is a sniper on the phones today.
Ooh, good job, Troy. Yeah.
And also, the guy you were trying to remember was John Edwards.
Yes.
And they took him apart on South Park. They destroyed him.
I love that.
And also, Penn Jillette, right after he had been thrown off of The Apprentice with Trump years ago, might have been O&A, he came on the air, and he was I remember he said, what's going to bring John Edwards down, he's going to have some show that's going to be the spirits of 9/11, and that's going to kill him. And he went into a whole bunch of thing about what, all the tricks that John Edwards does that, we all kind of already know. They're very skillful at playing this game, but it's just a game. And
right.
Penn Jillette debunked the hell out of him.
Yeah. You're right. Thank you, Donnie.
Okay.
Yeah, by the way, Penn Jillette also shouted out Opie and Anthony on the DJ Vlad interview.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. But yeah. I think that they're very skilled performers, but I just can't. The lying, like, I don't mind a performance based on a performance, but the lying, I don't like. And a lot of people like want to believe because they want to have answers. They want to have answers because death seems too final when you lose a loved one, and you want to have answers because you don't want to believe that this is it. Nobody wants to believe that this life is it, but I mean, we should probably live as if this life is it.
That's what Michael Jackson said. This is it.
That's right. Yes, he did. And he was talking about, you know what he was talking about? CNN.
No.
This is it. All right, by the way, before we take a break, real quick. Who's doing Pad Data today?
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, wait.
Let's see.
Troy?
I can't wait.
You're going to put this one in your pocket and never let it go.
You going to bring up Hard Rock Johnny?
I don't know if Hard Rock Johnny did this.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you do it on purpose?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is coming from one of the greatest Hollywood agents of all time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Awesome.
Are you talking about the great Tony Burton?
Yes, I'm talking about Tony Burton.
Mm-hmm.
But he asks the question.
Mm-hmm.
It says Elon's regrets.
Mm-hmm.
He asks the question, is this a purposeful typo?
Regrets?
Regrets. Like the Snickers commercial.
Yeah, of course.
Boom. Oh, sorry, Troy. You didn't get it. You didn't get that one.
Hard Rock Johnny tweeted too. He's like, regrets? I'm like, yeah, regrets.
Did you know Hard Rock Johnny tweeted that Ron Bennington hates me?
Yeah, right. I mean, aside from his regrets tweet this morning, Hard Rock Johnny's always right.
Why did he tweet that?
Because Ron's very mad at you.
Why? For what?
The town hall.
Oh, he's jealous?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ron does town halls.
Oh, so he hates that I'm doing town halls now.
No.
Oh, I didn't realize I was competing with him.
Yeah.
Jim McClure set me up.
It's McClure's fault.
Wow.
And by the way, Ronnie B's in his own world.
He's miles ahead of Sam.
No. He's in his own world. It's a parallel world, but it's in his own world.
Yeah.
As far as broadcasting go, it's like God tier.
Yeah, but
I mean,
well,
this was your first town hall. I mean,
you're like a pharaoh.
No, I did a town hall. Jim and me did Ricky Gervais that one time.
Well, you and Jim. Jim carried the weight.
Yeah, you really did.
He was helpful. Well, listen, we will have a town hall that we're going to air tomorrow in the 11 a.m. hour right here on Faction Talk 103. We're also going to replay it Friday at 8 a.m. with Bryce Dallas Howard and Orlando Bloom. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that show.
We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
To talk about their new movie, Deep Covered, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It was actually a great conversation. I did get some Legolas talk in there, and we were worried about that, but I did get some Legolas talk in there. I actually got to talk to Orlando Bloom about the fan theory that Frodo Baggins never learned Legolas's name, that he has no idea what Legolas's name is. Because there is, videos around that if you look at, Lord of the Rings, even at the end of the movie, that Frodo is saying hi to everybody and he's mouthing all of their names. But when Legolas comes in, he has this look on his face, and there's my guy,
And he knew exactly what you're talking about.
He started he knew, yeah. So that was good. And then we got to talk not only about the movie, but with Bryce Dallas Howard about that episode of Black Mirror, which was very, very interesting. So it was a great conversation. Some of you were there. That was fun to see you guys. But if you would like to hear the interview, it'll be on tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then again Friday morning.
It's a great interview.
At 8 a.m. Eastern. Thank you.
You did a great job.
Well, I just thought it was mixed well. That was what I thought was great about it.
Man, I appreciate that because I was actually the one that was on the board.
Really?
Yeah.
No, they say the thing about interviews is it's all in the mix. And I appreciate that. Even though I wasn't wearing headphones. It seemed good. You know who was there in the audience? Intern Danielle.
Oh, that's
Intern
wonderful.
Danielle was back. Our favorite intern.
That's right.
Oh. Malcolm,
he's new.
One of our favorite interns. Danielle, one of our favorite interns. Yeah.
The bar is high, though, Malcolm.
Okay, well, you don't
Stop saying that.
because it's not a nice thing to say.
Malcolm's great.
It's a demotivator.
No, but to stare at him and say the bar is high, do what you can.
He's
Do
here.
not fuck up.
He's been here 1 week, and he's excellent.
Thanks, man.
Okay, but you started it by saying like the bar is high. We love Danielle.
We love Danielle.
That doesn't help, dude.
And I mean that with love, Malcolm.
Thank you.
To Danielle.
To Danielle.
But yeah, she said Danielle actually. We talked to her after, and she said that there was somebody in the audience of the town hall that she laughed, probably because either I said something very funny,
That was probably it.
or I asked a great question that resulted in one of the guests saying something very funny. Either way, you know,
It falls back on you.
I would think so. But she laughed, and she said there was somebody in the audience that recognized her laugh and said, "Are you Danielle?"
Oh,
isn't that
wow,
great?
That's funny.
Larry in Yonkers, what's up, Larry?
Hey Sam, how are you doing?
Fabulously.
Good. I was front row for the interview. You did a great job.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Well, thanks
It was
for
really fantastic. I was sitting next to the gentleman who was dressed for your guests with his Jurassic Park and Pirates of the Caribbean gear, while I was dressed for Travis Teft with my Disney gear.
Oh, I totally missed that, Larry.
Yes, I was wearing my Minnie Mouse Brooks Disney running shoes. I just want to say congratulations. It was really a great interview. It was really a lot of fun. If the movie is half that good, I'm sure it'll be a tremendous hit.
Amazing.
It was really great to get pictures with the two of them afterwards. Bryce came up to me and thanked me for being such a wonderful audience member. Just so you know, I learned that from Ron. Ron Bennington taught me how to be a proper audience member.
He's not, but Ron's going to be even more pissed because now I'm benefiting off of his teachings.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, his staff was waiting for me outside, just looking at me like I was some sort of traitor. But I did, as I arrived, when I checked in with security, I did several times say, "Oh, I'm here for the Bennington show," just as a force of habit. But yeah, in all reality, you did a great job. That was really a wonderful interview. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Well, thank you, Larry. I'm glad that you were there. I didn't even know they took pictures with everybody.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I thought my picture
forced her into one.
Yeah, I thought my picture with them was like I'm the only one.
You were.
Can you put that going forward in the town halls? Only Sam may get a picture.
Yeah, sure. I mean, sometimes they do photos with.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay,
that's
right.
done.
Okay.
Those days are over.
Yeah. I think because I want to be able to post the photo and all the audience to go, man, if only I could be as cool as that guy. There was a guy,
photo or not, they're already thinking that.
I know that's true. I know the guy. I actually respected that this dude because the thing about the town halls is like it's not just like people who listen to this show. There, the email blast goes out, and there's a lot of people that show up that are just mega. You get to see Bryce Dallas Howard and Orlando Bloom like sitting in an interview, and you're 10 feet away from them. That's just a cool thing to go see if you're a fan of those celebrities. And there was a dude in the front row, and I respected it. He had a Pirates of the Caribbean T-shirt, I believe. He had a pirate necklace on.
Is he skinny?
And he had, I think so.
I know who you're talking about.
And he had a Jurassic Park hat on. So he had both of the stars'
All the merch.
franchises represented on his body. And I was like, that's a real one right there.
That is a real one.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind if somebody came decked out head to toe in not Sam gear. I'd be like, that's my favorite audience.
But they're doing it to be acknowledged.
I acknowledged him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I did. He was my tribal chief. That was funny though. I mean, it is.
That was great cred.
It is great. The idea of like, okay, I'm gonna just like rep whatever franchises these people are involved.
Both of them.
I don't know if I've ever bought a T-shirt from like a movie franchise. I bought like horror merch before, but not a full-on like studio release movie franchise T-shirt.
No.
I mean, I guess
that's getting more popular though.
Movie franchise T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like
well,
retro,
I mean,
like vintage.
No, I guess what I mean is more like like A24 and Neon specifically.
Oh yeah, but they make like really like premium.
Yeah.
Quality,
but it's
merch.
like movie merch.
Yeah. No, I have bought movie merch from A24 before.
Of course.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
I have not seen Friendship yet.
Oh.
The Tim Robinson film.
What are you waiting for?
Well, I saw the pre-order on the Blu-ray, and I was like, maybe I'll just wait.
You could. It's not something that you have to see in a theater.
It's funny though.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really want to see it.
You like Tim Robinson?
I really like Tim Robinson.
Okay, you're really gonna like this movie.
Okay, yeah. Let me ask you this: does Tim, his character, not
yeah.
Tim himself, the character that he plays,
Uh-huh.
does the character get frustrated and
Yeah.
lash out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes bad decisions.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then does he blame others?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like right up my alley. Honestly, that sounds like something I'd love.
And what's his name? Connor O'Malley.
Okay.
He has he has a quick scene.
Who's Connor O'Malley?
You'll know exactly.
Yeah,
what it is when I
I'm
show it
sure.
to you. Hang on.
Let's go to Chris while you're looking that up in Connecticut. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Sam. I just wanted to say I was at the town hall. It was a ton of fun. You are truly the last professional. You made it look so easy. And I will say the one thing, I apologize. I had a question all lined up, didn't get to ask it, and that one's on me.
Why didn't you get to ask it? I didn't go to Go ahead.
Yeah, they moved my seats. You had asked, and it just didn't work out. Ultimately, the other problem was I wasn't able to bring my kids to get a bunch of autographs from Legolas that I could eventually sell online. So that was
smart.
too.
Smart. Yeah, thank you. That's the thing. You pick up your kid and you get him to pass the autographs over, and then you sell the autographs. It's perfect. It's a perfect thing to do. I know everybody's very, very excited. iOS 26 is on the way.
Is everybody excited?
Everybody's excited.
Oh, okay.
Because you can put polls in your text. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
You can put polls in your text.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. How often, which group chat is a quiz? I don't know if you can put quizzes in your text, but you can put, you can put polls in. Travis, which group chat that you may or may not be a part of do you think will get a daily poll that says, does hot dogs suck? Yes, no.
I think it's the one with hot dogs.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of 2-to-1s.
Yeah, I think 2-to-1 will be a regular result. I mean, why would you need... Have you ever been in a situation where you're in a group text and you're like, I got to put a poll out there for everybody?
No, but like they're positioning it in a way of like, oh, figure out what you want for dinner.
Oh, if somebody sent me a poll going, let's poll to see what... That does feel like something that like 20-somethings going out to like a happy hour and then dinner would do.
Hot Dog's going to do a lot of polls.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He is. Like,
unironically.
Let's put up a poll. I wouldn't, not only would I not answer the poll, I'd cancel on dinner.
Hey, ladies.
Like, just make a decision.
Where should we go?
Chili's.
Yeah, end the conversation.
And I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to be at Chili's. If you'd like to join me, feel free. But that's where I'm going.
Also, I'm in maybe like one group text that is large enough where a poll would be necessary.
I bet they'd sneak it into the Little League group text.
Oh, because you got a lot of people there.
Right, where they're like, how bad does that umpire suck? A lot. Yeah, no, I don't know. It feels at the point where when they go, you can do this now, it's almost like I don't need to do all this. They're like, you can put your passport on your phone.
I don't want to do that.
No, because what if my phone runs out of battery? And then I'm like, yeah, no, I have my passport, but do you have a portable charger so I could show you my passport?
I mean, I like some of the features that they previewed.
What, like you can turn your phone into a Windows phone?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's what it looks like now, right?
But like call it like they'll answer unknown numbers in the background.
I've seen that like
I love that, especially because recently I'm getting a ton of spam.
I am too. It's like a pre-voicemail type thing.
Yeah, like it'll answer, and if it's a real person, then they'll forward the call to you. If it's not, you're never even going to know that they called.
I guess, but like if it's a real person, what if they're like, I'm not answering? I'm a little worried that people who I never put in my phone, who don't know I never put them in my phone, will call me and then they'll get pre-voicemailed and they'll go like, bro, why didn't I have...
Hey, dude,
why wasn't I in your phone? You know what I mean? Now they'll know.
I heard of the new iOS.
Yeah.
It pre-screens unknown numbers.
It's too much information. I don't want to share that much information with the people reaching out to me.
So you'd rather just continue to get spam calls?
I love spam calls because it makes me feel popular.
You're not popular.
Nobody else is calling me.
Hi, this is your final warning. Oh, God.
Oh, sorry, my phone's ringing again. Visual voicemail. I use it all the time. Yeah. No, I mean I get, but yeah, if there's like, somebody important calling.
Who's going to call you that's not in your phone that's important?
People call me all the time that are important.
That you don't have their number?
It's happened.
Never.
It's happened. Yes, it has. Yes, I can think
I mean,
of.
very, very rarely.
If Sam doesn't like somebody, he doesn't put their name in his phone.
That's a good point.
I put everybody's name in.
No,
I know because I want to know who's calling.
Yeah, I want to know.
There are definitely people that they'll text and I have to scroll up to see who am I
I've done that before. Yeah.
Yeah, like we have a text chain going, but I was just like, no, I'm not putting you in.
But it's not that hard to just put their first name in, just so you know who it is.
And
but sometimes you just don't remember. There have been guests that I've communicated with, and then like a year later, I'll get a text and I'll be like, "Who is this?" And then I'll scroll back up. I'll be like, "Oh."
Or there are times that I have boundaries, and I feel like putting your name in my phone would be crossing boundaries.
Yeah.
For me, and I'm not doing that.
I gotcha.
But then that person is going to figure out if they call me. He's not texting back. Let me call him. He's going to get the pre-voicemail and realize like, I didn't make it past his boundaries.
I think everybody that's listening that is maybe on the fence as to whether or not Sam has saved their number, once iOS 26 comes out, give Sam a call.
You know who's going to call for sure? Greg Stone.
Oh.
You said Brendan. I said Greg Stone. I think Brendan Sagalow won't call because he doesn't.
Greg will call.
Brendan will wonder, but also Brendan likes to he likes to lie to himself. You know what I mean? Like he likes to go no man, everything's cool. Like I'm fine. Like he's that like.
Greg's the opposite.
Greg's the opposite. He's like, oh my god, this can't be. Yeah, he'll call. It'd be good news for Greg Stone though.
Good.
It would be good news for
Good.
Greg Stone. And Brendan. It'd be good news for. I think I have Brendan's number. I think it'd be good news for Brendan.
Oh boy, you think?
I think.
Yeah.
Mike Cannon wouldn't have a problem.
Of course.
You know what I would do? I would take Bob Kelly's name out of my phone. Just to make sure.
Because you know that he knows this is coming.
He's definitely calling. He knows it's coming. And he would get the pre-voicemail just for the bit. I would take Bob's name out of my phone.
What the fuck?
Yeah. No, you're in there. Yeah. Then why'd I get the pre-voicemail, dude? I know what it is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something's wrong. I have no idea.
I mean, I guess... Oh, man, it's the new OS are already glitching.
It's acting crazy.
Yeah, there's glitching already. Yeah, because that's the way it works, right? Like, if it's an unknown number, a little thing like, please state your name, I would imagine. Because then it'll say, like, this person just said this was their name. But, like, I mean, thank God I got Stone Cold's number.
Sorry.
I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? That went right into your phone.
I mean, yeah, if somebody else had given it to me, it would have gone right in my phone. If I wasn't supposed to have it, it would have gone right in. Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I don't have Undertaker's number. What happens if, like, they go, like, oh, you have a call from The Undertaker? I'd be like, oh, I wish I hadn't put him on.
That sounds like the birthday message I got when I was 9.
Happy birthday, dear Travis.
Yeah, but I mean, how many of these people are calling you and not texting?
Well, it depends on how urgent it is. I'm a mover and a shaker.
Nobody likes a phone call. Everybody will default to text first. So if The Undertaker has your number and he's got to reach out to you, he's going to text you.
Yeah, I would hope that it would be, hey, Sam, it's The Undertaker, or do you have a minute? That's usually the way to do business. But Undertaker's also old school. He's literally got a move called old school.
That's right.
And old school, you just call. So I'm a little worried about that. Also, I haven't exactly had any situations just yet where the Undertaker has needed to call me. So maybe it won't come up.
But you remain hopeful.
I remain very hopeful.
Remember when you gave me COVID?
No, that's not.
That happened. You remember that? It happened.
And you know what I said to him? Well, if you would just get the vax like I told you. No, he's in the podcasting space now, so maybe it'll happen.
Yeah.
I need a little advice. I'd be like, of course, Undertaker.
I say you got the basement show. I need to stop by.
yeah, that's right. That's right. It's 100% right. Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of little Apple tricks. They're trying to get one over on me. They're trying to get ahead of me, you know? And I don't like it.
What about now you can like sit on hold and just forget about the call?
What do you mean?
Like they'll take care of it, and when the person that you're waiting to pick up, if you have to call customer service or something,
right?
When they pick up, Apple will automatically send it to you.
I don't call customer service ever.
What if you have a problem?
I tell my wife to do it.
Okay, then your wife is going to love this.
She'll probably love that feature. I'll never use that feature. I don't call to order pizza. I don't do that. I can't. I get anxiety. I'm like, you got to do it. I can't do it.
Ordering a pizza?
I can't do that.
Why?
I'll go pick it up. I don't want to do that.
You can't make a phone call to order a pizza?
I really don't want to. I can. I really don't want to.
I mean, I get it.
It fills me.
You do it.
Yeah, but like if there's a reservation, I'll have Clarice. I'll be like, can you make it?
Can you do that? It fills me with dread.
I'll tell you what, if there's a reservation and I can't make it online, I'm never going to that restaurant.
That's it.
That's it.
Well,
Okay, guess I'm not going.
Cross that one off the wish
Yep.
list.
I will not call to make a reservation. I get anxiety over that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But not calling to order a pizza.
Yeah, that's no thing. Ain't no thing.
And then if they put me on hold, I'll
Sals,
get
what can I
mad.
get for you?
Yeah. Oh my God. I hung up. I don't know. I panicked.
Something round.
Yeah. My dad just texted. He said, I don't text first. And he wouldn't.
No, he's
your
old
dad's
school.
old school.
Wouldn't it be great if my dad started calling me and it's like, could you please state your name?
Sam, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. But I could lie to him. I'd be like, that's the new phone. He'd be like, oh, okay. he wouldn't know the difference.
He's a real one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that seems like it would be a good feature if it works.
What, the hold thing or the screening the phone calls?
No, the whole thing. The screening phone calls I don't like.
Well, yeah, because you don't want people to know that you don't save their numbers.
That's right. That's literally, it's the first thing that I thought of.
You should do it to McClure.
He's out. Maybe I will make a list of people who are out. I need to make a list now of people who are getting pre-voicemailed.
You should.
Yeah. No, that's 100% right, because I'm way more comfortable just like letting the call go through, and if it's a real thing, they'll leave a voicemail.
Yeah,
That's
and I've answered questions, or I've answered phone calls in the middle of visual voicemail.
That's sick. You know why I like that?
Why?
It's old school. Because you used to do that when you were avoiding bill collectors.
Oh, that's true.
You know, back in the day, when you were avoiding bill collectors, you just leave your answering machine on, and then you could pick up while the answering machine was still on. I had a friend, and the only reason I learned about that is because I had a friend who, economically was not, his family wasn't in great shape. And so, every single, from the time I was in 4th grade, I would call him, and it would always be, hey, it's Sam. And I just wait, and they would pick up every time.
You haven't done that, though? You haven't gotten a phone call that goes to voicemail, and you see who it is, and you're like, hello?
I haven't been in that
yeah.
scenario, but I would love to be.
Yeah.
Because it's old school.
It is old school, yeah.
And I wonder how that sounds on the other end, like you're leaving a voicemail, and then the thing picks up.
It probably just sounds like click, hello, hello, hello.
And just make it sound
No,
like,
it's me. I
remember this from back in the day.
Yeah.
When I call my dad's house answering machine voicemail, he goes I usually think it's him because his voicemail is, all right, leave a message. And so I always think, all right, oh, hey, leave a message. Oh.
Is that how he normally answers the phone? All right?
No, but that's how it sounds. I don't even think he knows that that's what it is. He just I think he got frustrated with the machine. Yeah, I mean,
you
is
can
there
add
any
new backgrounds and messages?
And
you mean Hot Dog can have a cool background?
Oh, and somebody else is gonna I don't like that people can push their profiles through to your phone.
Oh yeah, I don't like that. Would you like to add a new photo? No,
this
absolutely
is the photo.
not. Yeah,
or
Hot Dog's got no shirt on.
That's exactly. That's the photo. We're using that photo. Or I have people named whatever I want them to be named in my phone. They go, oh, he wants you to name himself this in your phone.
No,
that's nice that he wants that, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
That's happened to me too.
There's a shorthand, and I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, then, if an unknown number texts you, and you text them back, your name comes up.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be I don't really know who this is, and I want plausible deniability, I don't want to text back and have my name come up.
What do you mean?
If somebody gets your number and you don't want them to have your number, and they text you, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
If you text them back,
oh yeah, then you
don't want your number. You don't want your name showing up. Protect my anonymity a little bit here. This Tim Cook, apparently he wants the whole world knowing everything. I want a little privacy.
There's in group chats now. There's the little typing bubbles.
What are you talking about?
When
somebody's responding.
Yeah,
that was always in group chats.
In
no?
group chats,
Not in
no.
group chats.
No, not in group chats. No, you just got to hope somebody's going to reply to you.
In WhatsApp, it does that.
Oh,
it says so and so is replying, but not in the
group chat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to start doing because it fucks with people in certain group chats? I'm going to type and delete. I'm going to wait mid-conversations. I'm going to wait mid-conversation so I know that it's open, and I'm going to type, I'm going to delete, and I'm going to close the text.
Or type a couple things and then close the text so then it just stays.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that's a good. That's what I'm going to do. That's a good move. I like that. See, yeah, leave it. It's just going to leave them waiting. If you type and delete, they'll go are you mad at me?
No, yeah. Then it goes away. Then it comes back.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck with people with that one for sure. That's fun. Okay. I mean, again, these are all improvements that didn't really
Don't you think they're kind of just scraping the bottom of the barrel?
I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well,
think
yeah, and that's why I said yesterday, like, we don't have to do a town hall, every
to
year.
announce the new iOS, especially when they're like,
Send me an email.
And then they go like this, OS 19, now it's 26.
I get that. That's fine. I'm totally on board with that.
They did that with the phones. Like, what do we have numbers for if we're not doing them in order?
Well, no, because this is now by the year.
D's
is by the year.
D's what? Oh, that was a good one, actually.
Like, I understand it is a formula now where like
COVID-18, COVID-17.
Right, COVID-19.
You're right.
We should have known it was coming.
Right.
Yeah. Where now it's iOS 26, watchOS 26, tvOS 26 instead of watchOS 5, iOS 27, blah, blah, blah. So now it's 26 because next year is 2026.
I also don't love that they rename the whole OS with they do two different things. And they're like instead of just being point, they don't do point. They could just do OS 5 point. This. Mm-hmm. Usually, if you rename the OS, the entire operating system has changed. The difference between Mac OS 9 and Mac OS 10 is nuts. It's night and day.
Yeah.
And then they would go 10.1, 10.2.
Sure, they still do that.
No, but the difference between OS 25 and OS 26 is minimal. You see what I'm saying?
But it's a yearly refresh.
Just make it work better.
But they've been doing that for 20 years.
I know, and I've never liked that. 20 years it's been bothering me.
And I would assume, by the way, that very soon, if not in September, they'll change the iPhones to the same thing.
You know what? Wake me up when September ends.
That'll be October.
That's right. That's right.
But, iPhone 26, iPad 26.
So that way they can keep it all uniform too. Helmet 26.
Helmet 26.
Yeah, because they'll do the helmet operating system.
Yeah, it'll keep it uniform. And it's probably easier for a lot of people to know when they bought their iPhone.
I don't know what number iPhone this is.
Exactly.
I don't know what OS I have.
You would have to look it up to see that you've got iPhone 17 or whatever.
It also goes to show that nobody can tell the difference aesthetically.
No, and you shouldn't. That's fine. These phones, we're not changing the world every year anymore.
I want them to look different.
It's not going to look different. It's going to be somewhat similar, and it's going to have maybe another button that you don't need.
See this microscopic inch of black around my screen? Imagine if it was gone.
Exactly.
It's a bigger screen now.
Yeah.
Whole world's different.
But you can't change everything all the time anymore. We went through that phase. It was a great phase. It was awesome.
Steve Jobs died.
Yeah, then Steve Jobs died, and then they put somebody who's not a creative in charge.
Right.
And Johnny Ive left.
Right.
And
he was like, you can hire my design firm. They're much more expensive than I was.
People hate the way that, you could completely customize your home screen now. It just looks ugly.
I made my buttons red.
You could do it all clear now, and
I saw it, and some of them and the dynamic island. Oh, maybe it's not the dynamic island. It's the little
the liquid,
liquid glass or whatever.
There's a lot of,
but you can see through it, so that it makes it so that you can't read it.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's nobody saw this. The minute I saw it, I said I can't even read what that says because the alert comes up on a crystal clear thing. It's not crystal clear, but almost a slightly fogged window. So you can see what's behind it. Mm-hmm. But because you can see what's behind it, you can't read the text because what's behind it is colorful and overpowers it, which means you can't read the alert anymore. And the fact that nobody looked at that and said, we can't really read this that good. You could have caught that way early.
And that's at the top. That's a Tim Cook thing.
Right.
Because, and I read somebody...
I can't read this.
No. Somebody had a great rundown yesterday on Twitter. There are so many people that are in charge of these little departments, and you don't have a creative guy at the top to say, let's do this, let's do that. So everybody's just trying to jam their great idea in, and they're all pretty decent ideas. There are creative people that work there. There's nobody creative at the top that is let's do that one.
Right. It's just the bean counter.
So instead it's just a shitload of stuff on your phone.
Right. That hasn't figured out. The creative person isn't sitting there going, this won't work with that, won't work with this. It's just we're putting everybody's department stuff in here.
Exactly.
And it's a mess. Doesn't it feel like a mess? You need all this?
I don't give a shit.
Right?
Does my phone work? Can I send a text? Can I check my email? I'm good.
Did you answer the poll?
Look, you can't read half of that shit.
No. I'd rather smoke a poll than answer one. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a bunch of poll smokers over there.
Yeah, I like that.
Guys, it's June.
I can't read any of that. No, I'm just saying. Yeah, so I can't wait to download this. I don't know. I'm assuming it'll just show up on my phone at some point. I don't think I'll ask for it.
It says we'll update tonight, and then it still doesn't update. I don't
Right.
know. I said okay. Why are you not?
Right. It'll say we're going to update tonight, and I'll go, okay, I'm going to go to bed. And then you wake up the next morning and goes, hey, it didn't update. Cool.
You're like, well, why'd you tell me it was?
Yeah, why'd you waste my time? I didn't want the update to begin with. Don't waste my time. What was the and one more thing?
There was no and one more thing.
Oh. They don't have a mini Mac?
No.
And did they explain why Siri sucks if there's AI now?
Siri's been getting a lot of shit because last year they previewed like really personalized Siri.
Right, like it'll be in your house.
And it never came out. And so they've been going on like press tours, like Craig Federici and some other guy.
That's sick.
And they're like, hey, was that
when did they do this show?
Craig Federici?
Yeah.
I think they all just did LA stuff.
Oh, we should bring the show down there and get the Apple guys on.
But they were asked like, hey, was that actually a working thing, or were you just showing us like, a beta
Like
product
illustration?
Yeah. And they're like, no, it worked. We just couldn't.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. Beta product from some beta dudes, as far as I'm concerned.
Some meta dudes.
Some meta dudes, am I right?
Right.
That's why they named that company Meta. Oh, I saw Chipotle's using AI to open restaurants. That's what they said. The headline says Chipotle wants to open like 350 restaurants or something like that within the next year, which is, crazy. I feel like, is there not enough Chipotle's?
No. I feel like there's one on every block.
Yeah, I feel like there's plenty.
No, we need more.
Where? Staten Island?
Yeah.
You don't have
We only
any?
have
10.
We have, honestly, I think we have 2.
Are they close to you?
They're both about 20 minutes away.
So you'd like one, maybe 10.
If I could get one, there's a open building within walking distance of us right now. They just closed. It was a bagel shop.
Oh.
If I could get a Chipotle / Starbucks in there, I wouldn't have to drive anywhere for my daughter anymore.
Does that exist?
You could break up the building into 2.
I see. Because I know Pizza Hut, Taco Bell. I didn't know you could do I'll tell you what, a Chipotle / Starbucks, whoever's cleaning that bathroom, deserves triple, quadruple, whatever they're making.
The company operates 3,700 restaurants, but its goal is to expand to 7,000.
What do you need 7,000 Chipotles for?
People love Chipotle.
Yeah, Chipotle rules.
Yeah, I guess. I like Chipotle.
Troy?
Love Chipotle.
Yeah.
Get a burrito.
Oh, yeah.
You can get a quesadilla if you order on the app.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what's the
little
problem?
corn on the side.
Do you have a Chipotle near you?
Yeah, of course. Everybody does. That's my thing.
What if I told you could have 2 near you?
A little closer?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I
Actually,
would love one.
You know what?
To me.
The Chipotle by me, not well managed.
No?
So I'd love a new one that was well managed, I suppose. If you're just opening Chipotle, sure.
See, the Chipotles by me are far enough where, I need to make an investment to go.
And you don't want to make an investment. You want to be able to just swing by a Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Jersey Mike's. I would love a Jersey Mike's closer.
That's what I would love. If you said they're opening 7 million Jersey Mike's, I'd be like, that's great. The Jersey Mike's by me is like a half hour away.
It's an investment. You have to specifically decide to go there.
Yeah, but I'd be there every day. They're like, oh, we got AI, so we can make 100 million Jersey Mike's somehow. No, I read the article because I was like, this feels like one of those things that people are going to talk about going, they're using AI to make Chipotle. How? I don't know. AI is just thrown in. AI is such a buzzword right now that it gets thrown into all this stuff that you just assume AI can do absolutely anything.
Especially because AI can mean so many different things.
Look, I don't want AI making my burritos, okay? What are you talking about? No, they said they're using AI for the hiring. That's my understanding.
You know what its name is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They're using AI to do the hiring process, so that way they can just run through, which is really cool for people who graduate college and stuff, and all they're looking for is a gig, and they're like, you know what? Maybe if I just talk to this person, I'll let them see my character, and then I can shake hands and get a job. And then you go in and talk to the person, and it's just, it's a little box. There's no person.
Yeah, run your resume through there.
Yeah. Does that worry you, Malcolm, that as you're getting out of the college, that wonderful companies like Chipotle are using AI to just hire people?
I guess when it comes to I don't give a shit about Chipotle doing it, I guess, but
Right.
it's definitely, there are already a bunch of places that do video interviews, which I think is already really, really tough for people.
Yeah.
So if you're not even getting the chance to.
Do we
to
do
say
those here?
anything.
Yeah.
That's a wild thing.
Yeah, but then there's people that watch the videos.
I didn't know that.
What do you mean? Like,
what did you think you were doing?
I mean, I did awful in those video interviews.
I watched
it. That does not make
What do
me
you mean?
feel
What?
good.
A video? It's not a Zoom. It's not a live interview.
No. So I can only speak to the way that this company,
your experience
does. Yeah. So when you're applying for an internship, Malcolm answers like, what is it, like 5 questions? Kind of like, who are you? Where are you from?
What size hat?
What size hat do you wear?
Yeah.
For Christmas.
In case in case we're sending hats again, we might do fitted this time.
What do you know about SiriusXM? Why do you want to work for this particular division? Blah 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 blah. And then they give they do a video answer.
When we get to know our interns, can we watch their videos on the air?
That's a great idea.
I mean, is that an HR violation?
I don't know how long they stay in the system for.
Screen grab them.
I'll check it.
Bootleg them. You know what I mean?
But no, yeah, I watch those. I watch all of them.
I mean, we wouldn't do it until later.
And then
when
I said,
we actually,
I guess I'll interview this guy.
Yeah, when we actually get to know them. But so you just get the clip.
Yeah.
And then but says you don't read the resume.
No, I get the resume as well.
Do you look at it or just mainly the video?
No, because
I'd be more of a vibe guy.
Video,
and I feel like video is the vibe.
Video
right?
is 100% first impression.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if they do an interview and they're pretty good, but the video they're like a weirdo, are you going like? I mean, I guess they can interview well, but clearly they're a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your thinking?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Yeah, it feels like a disadvantage. I mean, unless you can really present yourself, it's like when you.
No, I think it's great because like you could be more specific than just like sending in a resume. Like, tell me what kind of talk programming you listen to. Tell me what kind of podcasts you're into, and then I can get a feel for that type of person and whether or not that person would be a good fit on this show.
But what if you're bad on camera?
Well, I mean, it's a learning process, I guess.
Well,
I don't know. Malcolm did fine.
He was good on camera?
Yeah. Why do you think I interviewed him?
Did he have charisma?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was he like, one thing you don't know about me is I'm actually a ballerina?
You know what? That was nowhere in any video.
You didn't put that in the
and
video?
was not on the resume.
I very distinctly remember in one of the videos, there's at least 20 seconds of dead silence.
There
with
is
me staring into the
He
camera.
didn't know he was recording.
I
right.
did, but I just had nothing smart or clever to say, so I was just.
Can you not redo it?
No, you get one. That's the other thing. You
It's
get
a one take?
It's a one take.
It's a one take.
That'll fuck you up.
There are a lot of times where the first question is no video because they did not know that it was recording.
Whoa!
And you get a countdown. You get like 30 seconds to come up with your answer, and then it starts recording for you automatically. So you don't. You just got to go.
So it's a separate video for each question?
Yeah.
Whoa!
So I can like watch the videos that I want to watch.
And you're like, I don't care about this question.
I'll tell you right now. I almost never watch. What do you know about SiriusXM?
You do not.
I don't. You know why?
No.
Because 90% of these kids, and this is fine, just give like I know that SiriusXM is the leading
It's
company in audio entertainment. Okay,
Right.
I got you.
You Googled it.
You read Wikipedia. Okay,
Right.
cool.
Right. If I wanted to hear an asshole, I'd fart.
But I watch everything else because I want to know about you.
What if they go like I know it's the future of radio?
I'm like, that's wrong.
Wow, I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, I think it's better than what we used to do, which was just get a resume. And now I'm getting a resume and a video.
Because now the resume could get lost. It's just a piece of paper.
I still get the resume and I still look at the resume.
There's no personality to it theoretically. Yeah, I guess so. It's almost like doing an on camera like audition, sending a tape for this audition.
Basically, yeah. It's kind of like an audition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. And they do that for every department?
Yeah.
Even the boring ones?
Everything's exciting here. What are you talking about?
No, there's a lot of boring departments.
I don't think anybody's gotten internships in like ad sales.
Imagine if you were like, I'm really trying to intern in accounting right now because I love accounting so much. They must have the most boring videos ever.
Yeah. Well, I like to count.
I like counting. I like numbers.
I think it's better than just like feeding your resume into AI and hoping that one of the
That's
keywords
true.
you chose, like.
You got to know the prompts.
Yeah, and dude, I'm so terrified for my daughter and like everything that she's gonna have to go through, like trying to get a job.
She's just like
it's
sending out like, hey, I'm looking to apply to this job, and the job writes back like about genocide in South Africa. And you're like,
yeah, like
I think the AI's gone wonky. Wow. Yeah. So Chipotle, I didn't know they have their own AI.
That's cool.
You know what it's called?
What?
Avocado.
Okay.
You know, like AVA.
AVA.
Yeah, no, I got
That's her first name. I assume it's a female.
Maybe Ava?
Avocado?
Avocado? Avocado? Ava. Hey, this is Ava. Last name Cado. Okay. I also don't like it when they give AI cute names because it makes me feel like they're trying to trick me into something terrible.
Yeah, into thinking that it's an actual person.
Like, or just like, oh, this is cute. This is harmless and cute. Not like, oh, it's stripping us of our humanity.
That's the way it always starts.
Right. Cute and harmless. You know what it does? It makes little animations of toots and a crown.
And you're like, I love this.
Yeah, but I guess that's how they're planning on building 7,000 restaurants. Is to just go through the AI, hire a bunch of. But it's also like, dude, like that's not how you. And maybe when you're building 7,000 restaurants, the idea is to not necessarily have a customer service based brand. Like, you remember Apple? We were just talking about Apple. Back in the day, it was, if you work at the Apple store, you went through a process. Like, and anybody who's got that T-shirt on knows their shit, is going to be able to help you, is going to be polite about it, is going to be, like, back in the day, Best Buy was the same way. It's not so much anymore, but it was the same way. Like, I don't know.
He's a genius.
Right. That guy's a real geek.
Yeah,
no wonder he's
part
on
of
the
geek
squad. I feel like if I was Chipotle, like, your Chipotle, I feel like, tries to brand themselves as like a step over fast food.
It's fast casual.
Fast casual. So I feel like I'd want to make sure that, like, I wasn't hiring like goons. But there's no way that you can make sure you're not, like, you could hire a goon at McDonald's.
Gooner?
That's the other
somebody
thing.
in a goon state?
That's the other thing. How do you know? Because you could figure out if somebody spends a lot of time in a goon state if you're interviewing face to face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can know right away.
Yeah.
You know, but like,
Go home, Cheyenne.
yeah. Like, I feel
Not
like
hired.
that's right. I feel like, what do you do in your free time? I goon a lot. Spend most of the time gooning.
Next.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I lose hours of the day. It says
Trust
here,
me, I'll be late.
It says here, tardiness was an issue with your last job. What happened there? Oh, that wasn't anything. That wasn't. I mean, that was because of gooning.
Yeah.
That was
No big deal.
That's no big deal. That's regular stuff. I don't even know why they put that on the thing. But yeah, I feel like you run. It's like you're gonna go like, okay, high school graduation, check. Like, all the sort of, here are what you need to apply to this job. It always boils down to the personality of the person, and if they're a good worker, and if they're motivated, if they actually want to do that. And AI is not going to get that from a resume.
No, if you're personable, if you can interact with customers
right
correctly.
And then the poor manager is going to show up and go like, this is what the computer gave me? Like, this is the staff that Ava gave me?
Well, yeah, because they're just looking for prompts. They're just looking for those keywords.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be some sort of interview process before the day one.
I would
right?
assume
Like, I would
there
assume
is.
that they don't just, the computer doesn't hire somebody and then they just show up to work. That
Ava.
day, like, and here's their
Here they are. Ship them a
that's
name
wild.
tag. Ship them a name tag. They got it moving. I mean, Timbo's doing signing deals with AI. Old Timbo is the first to do it. Timbaland has decided, and you listen, maybe this is a good thing. Timbaland is about to launch. When does her album come out? Friday?
It's coming out soon. I think in like 2 weeks. I think I saw.
Huh?
The new Timbaland.
You talking about Tata?
Tata.
Yeah, Tata.
Timbaland has a new artist. You remember Timbaland? So the damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving. It's Timbaland.
I don't even know that.
That's what everybody knows.
Yeah, Timbaland. That's from the Justin Timberlake song.
Oh.
You don't have to say what you did. I already know.
Oh.
Yeah. So now he's like, okay, I'm gonna get on board with this AI thing, and he's got an AI artist coming out named Tata. Tata's got a face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's weird.
This is where we're going.
Timbaland said she's not an avatar, she's not a character. Tata is a living, learning, autonomous music artist built with AI. This feels like the Miley episode of Black Mirror. Tata is the start of something bigger. That's terrible news. She's the first artist of a new generation. A-pop. Oh, A-pop. Not K-pop, but A-pop. A-pop is the next cultural evolution. And Tata is its first icon. And Tata looks like she was built for Gooners too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people are gonna. I mean, this is bad. This is bad, especially the way they're packaging her as, no, this is a person. This is a person you can support. This is not an avatar. This is you should be a fan. Tata will know if you're a fan of her.
But you know what? Like, they're doing AI OnlyFans, and people are getting excited about that. So I mean, it's like,
well, those are Gooners.
I mean, you guys are getting horny over like literally not real people. So what's the difference if they listen to the music?
Well, I think that the difference is that the music industry will start shifting more toward, if this works, start shifting more towards AI and actual musicians. The difference is that, like, music is art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And art, in my experience, has been best created by a person with emotions to express. So I mean, if you wanna just like blow the whole thing up and just go like, we'll just go commercial, then sure. But I mean, you know, people used to play like musical instruments and have something to say and express emotion, and then that emotion could be connected to by another human, right?
I don't think that ever goes away, though.
I hope not.
And then wait till AI is able to mimic those emotions,
and you can't tell the difference.
You can't
right?
tell the difference.
And the AI, and AI is like widespread enough that like you can buy a thing, so it's like that musician is in the room with you, and now your connection with the musician is not just through the music, but like, no, I hang with them and I talk to them.
Yeah.
And there is literally no difference because it's all AI anyway. It's not like it's like Timbo said, it's not an avatar. It's not a copy of this person. It is the person because there is no person. It's all AI. And then the, behind the scenes music people get 100% of the money.
Wait till they wait till the Beatles start making new records under AI.
And then that's the other thing. Like, who owns the AI on the Beatles? Who owns the AI rights?
Like, they start making movies and it's literally you're watching the Beatles.
They might destroy the legacy of Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
I think that legacy has been destroyed.
Yeah, what's great is that AI Kiss couldn't possibly make a worse movie than Human Kiss. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it really starts to get quickly into just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
And the greater ramifications of this are that it kind of rips the soul out of music.
That's
right?
Absolutely right.
But
it's like, how do you stop it? We've had this discussion before. People just want it so bad. They want this to happen.
Do they?
Timbaland. I mean, look what he's doing.
Right, but do people want it?
People that have this power to create do. Yes.
People
right,
who
but
are
people going to embrace it.
People. You're not saying you're saying people want it. The people who create it want it because they will make money off of it.
Right.
Right. The question is, do consumers want it, and to what level do they? And that's true. That's very possible. There is an idea that consumers may reject things if they go too far. Like, everybody was like, wait till Apple comes out with this helmet. And consumers were like, I don't want a helmet. I want this.
No.
So that's entirely possible. That we can give humans, more credit than we are, and say that humans will sit there and go like, I don't want an avocado AI Chipotle, and I don't want AI music. I would rather hear what this person has to say. I want to watch them in an interview. I want to, I want to connect with a musician that is creating work based on their life experiences. Because then when I relate it to my life experiences, I'm not a fool. Like, if you relate your life experiences to AI, you're a fool. Like, this is everything's fake.
But eventually AI will have all the life experiences.
True, but what you should be relating to is the common emotional experience, which AI can never have. They can have a version of it, but they can't actually have the emotional human experience.
But they can mimic it.
They can mimic it.
Right.
And so the question is, how comfortable are we, they, whatever, with a really great copy?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be... I don't know. I just don't think that you're turning this boat around. So this is just where things are going. I think
you also have to be careful of, like, you need AI, like, as a person who uses it, you have to be careful to not just allow it to do everything,
yeah,
and not like consume it, But as people, everybody's responsibility should be to use it as a tool only. And maintain your ability to use it as a tool, and you are in charge of it. Because it can be an incredible tool for you.
Right.
But it's so incredible that if you allow it, you're not even necessary anymore.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And if you're that lazy that you're like, oh, I could just like be a blob. You got to have more motivation than that. And maybe you don't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you want AI to do everything, and you just buy a boat and float to Hawaii. I don't know. And everybody's like, what a hero. I don't know. I'm interested in seeing how it pans out. I would, and it's it's not on us. It's on the next generation. It's about how the next generation. It's about how your daughter interacts with it.
I think it's more Malcolm's generation and
pressure, bro.
These kids that are graduating college now. Where's the jobs? What job?
You like AI, dude?
I'll say this. I would so much rather be caught head back, legs up, gooning to AI than I would be caught listening to an AI musician. I think if my friends caught me listening to AI music, they'd be like, you have 2 brain cells. But if they caught me gooning to AI, they'd be like, all right, you're just a little bit freaked out right now.
What a great point. That's it. And that's it. And that's why you can't let pornography dictate, because you're right. Because there is something, and God bless these adult stars, God bless the sex workers, but there is something about pornography that as a consumer you ultimately are not humanizing the people that are in it. They are there to fulfill whatever weird fantasy is in your head. For you, Malcolm, legs all the way up. You know what I mean? Asshole out is what you say. That's what you always say.
I mean, that's how I always do it.
You said it in the video.
I had him up in the video.
I like to go asshole out is what you said.
I winked at him.
Yeah, that's right. And Travis was like, that's my guy.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
How did he know?
Yeah, Travis, the resume is unread. Okay, well, whatever it says. But yeah, that is a good point, that there is that, and that's good too, that for you and probably your peer group, that there is something embarrassing about consuming work made by AI.
Okay, but what about Malcolm's children's generation? That they've grown up with AI since day one. They may look at it completely different.
Well, we also need to see where this goes.
It's not going backwards.
I mean, we say that about other things.
The helmet?
Yeah.
You're also pessimistic and always are in your kind of viewpoint, because you also you have this worldview where you're like, well, it's just me and my lady. I don't need to really worry about anything, and I'm pretty sure everything destructs after me, which isn't the case. You know what I mean?
We're in this era where we go so hard and so fast at something, and then we pull back. Yeah, I'm talking about sex.
Nice. No, that is true. That there is, people always go, there's only moving forward, and that's not the case. There is,
woke is never going to end. We're going to cancel culture. Everybody's,
and then and sometimes, and that's more the cycle, right? Is the push forward, overcorrect. Mm-hmm. Everything's kind of an overcorrection of itself.
So much overcorrection.
The whole everybody's upset about everything was an overcorrection to the fact that we were fucked up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Nobody cared about anything.
We were fucked up. We put no semblance of any sort of feelings on anybody's experience. We were just suck it up or die. And people were like, well, I'm dying. And it's I don't care. Look at all the great stuff I have. I don't care. And then there was an overcorrection. And it was no. You have to care about everything. And then there was another overcorrection. It always ends up more being, we push it a little too far. And before it goes all the way, before it goes off the cliff, we overcorrect. And that does seem to be cyclically what has happened.
Sure.
And there's no reason to think that AI wouldn't be kind of similar to that. The same way screen time is. There is this risk of being completely lost in your screen. But it also feels I don't think anybody would have predicted that Apple would start coming out with technology that monitors your screen time and allows you to automatically shut off your phone. There is a heightened awareness of this isn't that good for you. And then it starts to peel back a little bit. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you and your friends, Malcolm, do you feel like you guys are all glued to your screens, or are you bro, I probably had too much of this?
I think the pendulum is definitely starting to swing back the other way a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for people younger than me, because I definitely see stuff online where kids are genuinely chatting with AIs, and that's something that I don't know anyone who does. Mm-hmm. So I think most people I know will like use it to do homework or whatever, but aren't at that point where they're replacing normal human interaction with AI.
Sure.
But I think maybe there are some 12 to 15-year-olds right now who are verging on that.
Were you raised like playing a lot of games like online?
I wasn't
talking
allowed
to people on headset.
No, I wasn't allowed to do any of that shit. So
You were not allowed?
That probably helps. No, that probably helps me at least. But I mean, I know some guys that were probably super in the gamer shit, and they seem
because I wonder if getting used to talking to people in headset and like that sort of not having that tangible human connection might lend itself more to the AI thing. You know what I mean? Because you don't, but maybe not. I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan in Connecticut. What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, what's up, guys? So I work in the belly of the beast selling AI, or I'm in tech companies. So like in Malcolm's case, it's not so much any company or CEO says we laid people off because of AI. 9 out of 10 times they're selling an AI product, right? So nobody's job has actually gotten taken away from AI. What happened was up until 2023, companies were hiring like crazy. The more you hire, the more you grow because money was cheap. Interest rates were down. Once the interest rates came up, that's when you started seeing a lot of cost cutting. And that's when you started seeing AI kind of being the mask. Oh, because for stockholders, we talk about, if they say, oh, we're investing in AI, it's better for the stock price than just saying we laid people off because our numbers weren't hit. So
first of all, Jonathan,
we're not there yet.
That's a fabulous point. I love that point because, and it also even your phrasing of saying money was cheap, money was expensive, it also goes to speak to the general financial illiteracy that we, raise people with in the United States for whatever reason, since we're, a capitalist place that everything is run on money. But you're right that the other thing is that if you put a newspaper article out that said, no, the reason this went down is because money is more expensive than it used to be. Most people who get a newspaper, like their heads would explode. They'd be like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Interest rates this. I don't know. I'm glazing over. Could you just tell me there's a tech overlord coming?
Yeah, exactly.
Jonathan, what about coding? Because for the last 10 or 15 years, everybody's like, get into coding. And now I read AI can code
that
30 times faster, so we don't need coders anymore. And all these kids that are graduating from college have no jobs.
So coding. There's a vibe. Have you heard of the vibe coding?
No.
Coders now?
No.
I like vibes.
So that's the new term, quote unquote vibe coders.
Nice.
So you use ChatGPT of semblance of what you want to create the code for you. So yes, the straight coding of I'm going to do line for line is going to get less and less. However, you still kind of have to be technical, right? So I come from a technical background. I can't code whatsoever. But I kind of, with vibe coding now, I can put pieces together because I've been 10 years in the technical world. So there's still going to need to be, you can't just be like a kid and be like, I'm just going to ChatGPT and write an app. It's not going to work that way. You kind of have to put puzzles together. But it's going to open up a lot of doors for kids to do things. So we're just going to exponentially grow apps.
Yeah, maybe
faster than we ever did.
It seems like the way you describe it, it'll actually remove that barrier of entry where you have to spend 3 years trying to figure out how to do the basics before you can go in. Because that is true. I mean, I can't imagine. We're definitely not anywhere near a set it and forget it AI system yet. Not to say we won't be, but we're definitely not there yet. They're still putting 6 fingers on people.
Yeah, so what the investment is, so last year was all about generative AI, which is ChatGPT, right? All these companies thought they were going to make money that way. We're just going to invest in, if you notice, everything has a co-pilot. Ask your AI assistant doing your taxes. But then now it's they're realizing they're not making money that way. So the new thing is what's called agents. So agent essentially is the doing the work for you. So for example, a lot of companies are investing in let's say if you want to book an airline ticket, you put the agent in, and then they'll do everything until the last point where you sign off on it, and they'll book your ticket. But we're really far, that's how fast AI is going. It's because companies are realizing, how do I actually monetize it? And it's not that easy. So, don't be as scared, but I think the only thing is the content. I always use the dial-up example, right? We thought the norm, downloading Napster took 3 hours for one song. And then we were used to that. It's just like you said, we're just getting faster and faster, or what we're getting used to. So it's not like people are going to take away. It's just our expectations for results are just going to get faster.
That's a great point.
We're still always going to be busy.
Yeah, the output the expectation for output becomes more. Therefore, you need the people to make sure that the AI that you're using is outputting on that level. Like with the results are not going to be the same. Yeah, that I think that's true. I think there's truth to that. Thank you, buddy. That's actually good.
Yeah, the only thing that's scary is I always say to the artists, but like realistically, who's making money at the top? It's only the people at the top level. A few people are making money in the entertainment business. So like you create images for your PowerPoint, but if I didn't, I just wouldn't do it anyways. Like if I wanted
I would have just used word art.
Yeah, or you just go off some image. Like it doesn't change. The people who are using it are not going to pay for it anyways. They're just adding it, but it doesn't change the. Like if you're trying to convince an executive, putting a generative AI picture is not going to change them one way or another. Yeah. Like they just won't use it. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it just yet.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think, the thing about generative AI is you don't really have to worry about it until it's degenerative AI. Uh-oh. Because you make the rules, but then they'll break it.
Suck it.
Yeah, suck it. Suck it is correct. Yeah. It's
I can get down with degenerative AI.
Degenerative AI is awesome. It's awesome, especially with like the second version, 2.0, when X-Pac and the Road Dogg show up. It's super cool. Yeah, it's and I do think as well that there are people that are trying to use it because it's so buzzy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not quite.
I don't know, I'm just very worried.
You are worried.
Well, I'm worried just more technologically speaking. It doesn't even have to deal with AI, but like when you see like so many entry-level jobs are unnecessary now. Like you walk into McDonald's, there used to be 3 cashiers. Now there's 1, and you have to wait for that cashier because they want everybody to order
on the
kiosk. You know, like so that's not even like an AI thing. That's just like technology replacing jobs.
No, that's true. That's
and technology is going to replace the lower level jobs.
No
first.
No more toll booth workers.
No more toll booth workers. No more toll booth Willie.
Yeah.
You know, well, God forbid. I don't know what he's doing now.
Well, I mean, the things that I said to him, I could never repeat.
I would hope not.
I said horrible things to that guy, just passing through every day.
But like, you know, entry-level jobs are there for a reason.
No, that's true.
They're not meant to be careers.
Avocado is going to hook it up, though.
Yeah.
You can work at Chipotle's.
That'll be eventually automated. You won't even need workers at fast food places.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind automated fucking robots making my burrito bowls because depending on the guy, you're either getting a tiny little piece of rice or you're getting like a shitload of rice.
Yeah, but you know what? We need people in there. You know why?
Why's that?
Because sometimes you can kick it a little bit.
That's what I was going to say. You know that.
You know what I mean? You go in there and you kind of, you put on the charm a little bit.
Oh, I put on the charm every time I'm at Chipotle.
No, you got to go there early.
You're not a charming guy.
Sure, I am.
No. You're kind of a weird. No.
I'm like, hey.
Oh, that's so bad. That's bad. No.
That'll work not in your favor.
You don't understand. That's right.
Is that why I don't get that much meat?
That'll work not in your favor.
Now you got to get there early before the lunch rush.
Right.
Yep. 11 o'clock, 11:15.
But you don't want to get there too early because it's the leftovers from the day before.
Right. And then also you can't be afraid to put in the legwork, meaning the first month or so, you're not going to get anything for free.
You laugh. Sam's 100 spot on.
Bro, I know that because Troy and I, we got it to a point where we were getting free Frosties every single trip to Wendy's.
Bro, we were getting free nuggets.
We got free nuggets too.
Yeah.
Just from putting in the legwork.
Kicking it a little bit to the ladies. And you know what Troy and I would do to kick it? There'd be a short line at one register and a long line at the other, but our girl was working the long line.
We would wait it out.
And she'd see us get on her line. And I mean, you're guaranteed that. Nobody goes in there and be because there's so many dickheads. Yep. Everybody's just such an asshole.
And especially at a place like Chipotle.
Yes.
Where like they are controlling how much food you're getting in that bowl. You are on your best behavior.
When you just go in there and be like, oh, by the way, you look great today.
Hey, what's really good?
Yeah.
Hey, you looking nice today.
And you go like this, you look great today. Anyway, I think I'm going to have my regular. They'd be like they're so taken aback.
How's your day going?
Lots of thank yous, lots of pleases, lots of smiles.
And then you go like this. How do you get one of those Frosties? You know what I mean?
Those aren't for everybody.
Could you wouldn't mind grabbing one for my friend, would you?
The small cups. Yeah. It's just the small cups.
Yeah. Bro, we cleaned house at the Wendy's that was downstairs.
Oh, before they closed it? Oh, the whole show could have gone down there and eaten. Yeah. But I think that's a necessary part of the dining experience at all these places.
You gotta put in your time.
You need to have it. And by the way, I started using AI to make clips of my videos, like like reels and shorts. Dog shit. Dog shit. The worst.
It's funny though.
Terrible.
It's funny though that it doesn't learn what you like.
No, it's horrible. They're horrible. And now,
give it 6 months,
bro. They're horrible. And now, when I see I watch everybody's clips, judging, not for entertainment. For my entertainment is judging them.
Can you tell when somebody's using AI?
100%. And I think that they're not putting the work in, and I think they're broke.
You won't
AI worse than HD?
That's a good question.
You won't be able to tell though. I bet you within a year or two you won't be able to tell.
I agree.
And so what's the deal? So
it's moving so
like
fast.
You're saying you put in a clip.
You put in. I mean, it's amazing. The technology itself is amazing. So you pay for it. It's a pay service, and you put in the YouTube link. You don't even have to upload a file. You put in a YouTube link, and then you can put, if you want it to look for a certain thing, you can put time codes on it if you just want a clip of one area of the. But if you have like an hour podcast, and you're like, I don't know. Like, because I'm terrible at making my own clips like that, because like I don't like watching myself back. I never remember half the shit I said. Like, I'm like, I did it. I gotta go. So I'll never know if there are things that I talked about. Like if it's a wrestling show and I'm like, whatever. Everybody's talking about Triple H. Let me put Triple H in here. You can put prompts in, and you can put how long you want the clips to be, and then you just say go, and it takes like 15 minutes sometimes. And then you just go back, and it's all web-based. And it takes you to another web page where it's literally got,
so it gives you options.
It's got 30 shorts.
I mean, that's kind of cool. You can't be like, okay, this one, but I want to modify this to this.
And then you can, and they'll add subtitles. And you can go in and like, you can edit in the system. But once you start editing, like the editing of it is not that great. It's just web-based video editing.
Right.
So like I see why people use it, but if you know how to edit, if you're a real editor,
right,
it's so much quicker to get something good if you know what you're looking for, just editing it by hand, because it'll be like mid-sentence, or they won't fully get the humor value in something, or they won't get the impact statement, or they won't know to take like 30 seconds from here and then maybe cut out 20 minutes and then 30 seconds from over here, and you can combine these to make a great 1 minute clip. Like they won't know to do all that stuff.
And you can't tell it, like, okay, take from here to here in this clip, make it this and add it to this clip. Like, you're not there yet.
I feel like once you're giving commands of that level of precise editing, I just go in there and cut it yourself. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
The idea is to set it and forget it, and the idea of using AI is that they know what's going to trend. They know, and they rank it too on what our system sees as the most potentially viral. What did you say in here that is a topic that is resonating on Instagram, YouTube, and they'll make a clip. They'll make clips based on that, and then as you go down, maybe you just want a clip because it's important to the show, but in our likelihood, this is only a 60% out of 100. So they'll tell you, they'll rank it and everything.
No shit.
It's a really wild technology once you get into it, but the clips are just not great. You know what I mean? I found that they're not, like the amount of work I have to do to get an actual good clip, it feels disposable. It feels like I'm putting this out there for brain rot. Like, just click this and go to my thing, and hopefully I'll get paid. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, that's a funny piece of content.
Is that the only service that does that?
There are multiple services.
Because I've known, like working in Midjourney. Midjourney sucks compared to ChatGPT for creating art. So you go like, oh, well, this one's terrible. This is not even close to what this is yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there might be a better one.
Yeah, I'm just not there. And editors are getting more talented as they know what's working and everything. And also editing software is getting better.
Yeah.
Like you can do, like you've used CapCut, you can do really cool shit really easily.
Yeah.
So, that's the other thing. Is it going to, it kind of goes back to what that dude on the phone was saying. Is it going to make it so editors are out of work, or is it going to make it so a lot more people can edit? And I would argue that both are feasible now. You know?
Yeah, I think this creates new jobs. I don't think it's. I mean, yes, it's going to take people's jobs in certain ways, but I also think it creates new ones.
Malcolm, you know how to do video or audio editing?
Yeah.
See, I like anyone, and I was saying this 10 years ago, but now especially, anybody that's in their 20s and doesn't know how to, you don't have to be a pro, but doesn't know how to do basic audio, video editing and wants to be anywhere near anything that's not, you know, accounting is nuts to me.
Yeah.
What do you think the new jobs,
Well, you're creating art with or creating things using AI.
But if everybody can do it,
well, it's still you have to make prompts. You have to create.
There's always going to be
things.
people that are better than others, and there's always going to be people that don't have time to do it. Like I can do all this. I can edit video. I can edit audio. I can produce show. I can do all these things. I don't have time to do it.
I guess.
Otherwise, you'd be out of a fucking job. That's for sure. Sorry.
I'm not even the boss.
No, I was just thinking about when I hated
can't
you.
fire
Remember we were talking about before when I hated. I was just
you hated
thinking
me
about
for a long time. You said
I know, and I was-
stuff you couldn't even you couldn't even stop talking about.
I started thinking about it again. You know,
It's my fault. I opened my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep. All right. AI's telling us we got to get out of here.
Shit.
So we got to go before our overlords come in. But we will be back here tomorrow. We're going to air the town hall. We're going to have a whole live 3 hours before that. It's going to be a fabulous to-do tomorrow for Thursday. So I'll talk to you then.
This has been Sam Roberts Show. If you missed anything or want to hear it all over again, check out Sam Roberts Show on the SXM app.
Greetings and citations, fine shits.
At the little